everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Yes, it is Wednesday. We are a day late and not a dollar short because we are up here. We are fabulous and we are winning. Okay, so we are not a dollar short, but we are absolutely a day late. Okay, that's my apologies to you guys. I'm so sorry, but I had something come up yesterday and I could not come. And you guys know I'm real funny about being on time. So we are here, even though we're a little late today. I was hoping that we got another special guest coming, but we're going to wait and hopefully he will be able to join us a little bit later. But today we are here to talk about Ready to Love, episode number trace, number 3. Hanatu Sege. Okay. Saw that eyebrows. And for you guys that don't know what Sege is, that's 3 in Korean. So
I know.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, chat, for joining us. We have 31 in the chat right now. I appreciate you guys being here with us on this Wednesday. Very, very short notice. If you have not hit that like button yet, definitely hit that like button. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I would so greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel for all the great things that we have coming your way, like these future panels and episodes. But you guys know I like to begin with starting off with the panel introducing themselves in the very beginning, and I love to do it at the very end for the ones that make it in the beginning, don't get to watch it all the way through, and the ones that start in the middle and don't get to watch it until the end. So let's go ahead and start with Tyrone.
What's up, everybody? Tyrone E. Wilson. No, I'm just joking. I'm practicing my my intro, so it's always a pleasure to be here with Sabrina, Cherise, J-Dub, PO. It's gonna be fun discussing episode 3. Finally put out that content I've been talking about all this time, so I'm just excited right now. Let's get it. You know how we do.
J-Dub.
What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy J-Dub, the #1 commenter. And I'm just glad to be here. I'm so bothered. Stacy B is not here because I really wanted to touch on that Corvea issue. I mean, it's bothered me. We need to teleport here, get her through Zoom. We got to get her something because I got to hear. I need to hear her on this one. We're gonna have to do a run back because I was trying to tell y'all, but I ain't gonna get too deep just yet.
Let's go with Cherise.
Hello, everyone. Happy to be here tonight with the crew. Looking forward to chopping it up. It's Cherise. I'm back. You know where to find me, Cherise Logan and Logan Skincare. Hey, y'all. Have some fun.
Yes.
Yeah, here we go. Once again, you already know who it is. It's PO, right? And I got some announcements to make later in life. So stay tuned to that. It's coming shortly. But yeah, you know what it is. When IG 100 sightings. I'm with J-Dub. I miss Stacy B because we be rumbling. So I need a sparring partner. Let's get her in there. Let's get it.
Yes, Stacey B is definitely missed, and really BTV. They had prior engagements, but hopefully Stacey could slide on in if she can a little bit later. That would be amazing. We always love to hear her input. Shout out to you guys in the chat. Y'all are rocking. I appreciate it so much. I just want to recognize some of you real quick, okay? Because y'all are here from the very beginning. What's up, Big Steph, Nancy Robertson? Hello, another round. Shout out to another round. She has a channel as well. She does reviews. Check that out. What's going on, SJ, Nashelle? Hey. What's going on, guys? Hey, Miss D. What's up, Jackie Dennis? April Gaines. What's going on? That's P.O. sister. Shout out to you. Thank you for joining. Hey, Anissa. Oh, and did y'all tell where they could find you guys?
I'm about to tell them.
Did y'all tell them?
They know where I live.
I just stay on YouTube. That's
I was about to say,
YouTube's
what if it's
#1
first timers? What if it's first timers?
Okay. Well, she was like, give me the intro. I do reality shows. I do reviews on reality shows. I do detailed reviews, not scene by scene, just pick out important details. And you can find me on YouTube on It's J-Dub and Instagram at It's_J-Dub.
All right. What about you, Tyrone, since we're up at the top?
Yeah, I mentioned that I was excited. I'm a bit of a nerd, so I finally got my second, no, my third YouTube channel up and running. It's called Blositivity. It's a mixture of positivity with blackness. It's totally created by AI, videos, the text, everything. I'm excited. It's a faceless YouTube channel, so you won't see my face or my voice, but you will see content. So, if there's anything that you can think of that you would want to see me put together, let me know. I will use AI to do it. I'll probably even show you how to do it. And other than that, I also recently released another video. It was the official trailer review on my personal YouTube channel, and that was pretty fun. So I'm gonna probably do episode one tomorrow. I know I'm behind, so yeah.
Well, congratulations on that. Sharice, you want to tell them where they can find like your website, where they can find your business, Instagram, your Instagram?
Yes. So you can find my website at loganskincare.com. I offer skincare services and I have skincare products. I have lip glosses. Yeah, you can book consultations with me for skincare if you have any questions. I have an Instagram at Logan Skincare. I have a lot of new videos coming out, so make sure you're following my Instagram. I have a lot of good information skincare wise coming to you guys that I'm going to give away for free. So make sure
Yay.
you're following my Instagram. And in February, I'm doing a giveaway with another friend. So I'll be giving away a $175 custom facial and a eyelash, full set of eyelashes. So you need to follow my Instagram in order to win.
Let me book me a
Yeah.
flight over that page. PO.
Sharice, is it an alternative for a guy? We may not need eyelashes.
Of
Can we get something
course, I
else?
got you.
Okay.
That's what's up. Yeah, so y'all know who I am. You know what it is. You can find me uptown, downtown, all around, anywhere you want to be found. But I stay parked on IG at 100 sightings.
So Tyrone is from Ready to Love DC. It's J Dub is the #1 commenter on YouTube. Sharice Logan is from Ready to Love Miami, the first season, and PO 100 sightings is from Ready to Love Potomac, guys. Just to let you know, I know the faces are probably familiar as well. And I want to give a huge shout out to Ronna Gaffney. Let me tell you something about Ronna real quick. Ron and I, we have been knowing each other for over 20 years. And I just want to say, oh my God, I can't believe you're here. Thank you so much for joining. Oh my God, I'm so, no, because y'all don't understand. Like, woman here, part of the reason why I am the woman today is because of this woman. So I just want to say that huge shout out to you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I appreciate you. All right, guys, let's get into it. Now, we're going to jump right into it. Let me go ahead and pull the picture up because in real life, this is huge. I don't know if it's huge for you guys, but I know it's huge for me. And this is something that I definitely want to discuss. And the very first thing, before I even get into my notes, is they begin with the ladies' lounge. And with the men, they begin with the ladies' lounge. I mean, the lounge, the men's lounge. They have it both in the same place. Now, it's a church, but the church has a full bar. Is it me or am I tripping? Is it really a church? Is it not a church? I mean, I don't know. Maybe
It's a church.
That's what I
It
thought.
is a church. I saw the pews. It's a church, but I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus had wine with his disciples.
Facts.
So I don't think there's nothing wrong with having a couple brews or a few shots with the homies. I'm just saying.
My take on it, I was more disturbed that the men and the ladies don't have a separate lounge. They're using the same lounge. What you're looking at is just what America's been going through, like repurposing properties. There's a lot of churches that have foreclosed and been abandoned. So now people are taking over them and making them additional spaces. Like I've even seen a gun store in an old church before. So this is a real thing. It's a real thing, and how I see it, yeah, it's I guess what they say sacrilegious, but in a sense, you can find God anywhere. So to me, it's just a building that's repurposed.
It is.
Yeah, it's not uncommon to have the same lounge, and I don't usually do this, but keep the party going. That's
Hey,
how I feel.
you know what? Too. You know, I feel like the budget was low too. They probably couldn't. You know, it. You know, it costs,
Because the church is tax free, right?
right?
Y'all think that was?
So
Well, I think that
No,
was
I don't know.
the color
they got the
scheme.
write off.
Yeah, I don't think it's a church anymore.
No, I think it is because they had pews in there. Like if you got to go back to one of them episodes. They they backed off and then they panned to the liquor. I was like, dang, I was waiting for TD Jakes to run out with the setup. Yeah, it's a real church.
How is this?
So yeah,
Yeah,
it
good
was churching
question,
for
Raymond.
real.
Okay. Well, I just wanted y'all's input because I know some people are for it. Some people are like, like it's someone said in the comments it was disrespectful, so but we don't know like where this church is or whose church this is or what's going on.
So yeah, I feel like it's only disrespectful if they're still conducting church activities, right? And then they're condoning this sort of alcoholism. It's there's a duality of, good and bad going on at the same time. And you're trying to, teach or preach, and then when the people get out, you move the heathens in so they can get it up in, it's that might be a little, and then in the men's lounge, I know, from my end, we was cussing. I was the one, I said the MF word probably, 100 times per meetup. So, yeah, there's that.
You ain't got to get drunk, Paul. Or cuss. You can drink responsibly.
I didn't even
Well,
use profanity before Red Club. I didn't do it.
The drinking,
vocabulary.
Yeah, the drinking came after the MF word, to slow it down.
I was getting ready to say, I think that's just PO's personality. I don't think alcohol was involved, honestly.
No.
He just was probably feeling himself and feeling a type of way about what they was talking about, and he had to drop some M-bombs.
A lot. So there's that.
Wow. Well, I just wanted y'all's opinion because it was like as soon as the episode started, I was like, I kind of want their thoughts on it. So
it's an old church that's now a club.
Oh Lord.
The club that's an old church.
Is it really?
Yeah.
So they said, but they still have it set up like the church thing or whatever.
I mean, that's on them. I guess they liked it.
They got.
Yeah.
Some places
they're historical, so you can't take them down.
Right. Then that makes sense.
It's kind of awkward. They do a lot of things awkward here.
So what they got, like deacons and deaconesses as bartenders and barmaids?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
Right. But yeah, like Dee Dee says, don't state that it's a church. If it's a club, just say it's a club. You know what I mean? So
that was kind of like
let's go to the church, kind of like, making fun of it, like,
Yeah, that's putting the disrespect on it when you say, yeah, we're gonna be up in this church drinking, y'all.
Well, they said that well, there's a meme that says that the bottle girls are doing work for Jesus in the club.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay. I hope no one's offended.
Man.
I'm not offended, and my family has a church or had a church.
Yeah. Well, there's that.
Well,
but I was cracking up about the church thing. I was like, oh, they in church. I thought that was funny.
Yeah. I would have had to do my stuff from the outside because I know I would have been up in there mad disrespecting, the building itself on accident.
I think it's just scared up in there. It's just a design at this point.
Right.
They left the church walls.
Okay.
Throw a little Jesus face.
Oh God. Y'all let us know in the comments what you guys think. How do you feel? Because like this, like I kind of want like input on everyone. Like, let us know like how you feel about it being a church or was a church, or you know what I mean, like that whole thing. So I was just kind of interested actually. Let me turn this off. Okay, so Tommy tells the ladies that one man will be eliminated at the end of the week. That this week he also tells the women to take the men out on dates and tell them something about you that they normally wouldn't tell anyone else. So that's where we're going with the whole thing, and I can kind of see they really forced it. So Mercedes sets up a date with Sue Ann, Mark Anthony, and Blake. Blake and Mark Anthony enter, and Blake is, what is that thing called? I forgot to put it in here. Were they on those bouncy shoes? And Blake is pretty much like, nope, not for me. He is definitely not interested. And they're like, you know, we're going to go ahead and do it because it seems like the girls are kind of interested. Mercedes says that she has this giddy feeling towards Mark Anthony, but Blake is kind of off-putting. Mark Anthony and Mercedes have a one-on-one, then Blake and Sue Ann. Mercedes tells Mark Anthony that she has been single for about 1.5 years and that the guy cheated, which resulted in a child. They both flirted back and forth with each other. Blake says that he is not managing dating multiple people at once. He tells Sue Ann that. He explains that he's been married, divorced, has kids, and he is not looking for a fairy tale. Blake gives Sue Ann a nickname, and her nickname now is Susu.
Yeah.
And go.
Well, first off, I could tell you this. I could completely understand Blake's trepidation when he saw those big shoes, right? Now, I'll tell you, just from my personal experience, and you guys never saw this, we had a group date. It was myself, Ace, Precious, Donovan, and AP. And we had to do that stupid flying yoga. Right, so you got two men doing that. I looked at that and I'm like, man, I'm like 6'5". What am I? I'm not jumping. I'm not doing that. And like I was ready to be. I was so glad they didn't play that date. I was so glad to look at that and go the other way, you know, so I could understand him coming in the door like, yo, this is not my thing. Like, it was just weird. Like, that's something that you're not gonna do. But then he does it, and I feel like he was team player, right? Homegirl said, nah, you know, oh yeah. Homegirl's like, nah, you know, you're not the guy for me. But I feel like, you know, if you go out there and, you know, on a leap and just do it, you know what I mean? I think that's saying a lot when you're jumping way out of your character to participate. Because I don't know if I would be on that. What is that, Kanga bounce or something like that? I wouldn't be doing that.
Yeah,
Plus,
I felt the same.
Oh, I thought you finished. No, I'm sorry. Good.
Okay, I said, yeah, I felt the same way as Blake in a sense. Like, I'm thinking on already the love dates. I don't want to work out on my date. How much do we get to know each other and connect when we're working out and struggling? It's like going to the movies almost, because I'm focused on working out. And but on the other hand, I get it where people will say like, well, you're out here, just give it a try, or don't be a wet blanket or whatever the case. But you know, I'm not a fan of Blake, but I understood because I said the same thing as soon as I saw it. I said I wouldn't want to do that at all. Let's sit and talk. And even with Mercedes and Mark Anthony, they actually snuggled up after being sweaty on the Kangoo trampoline or whatever. You know, I ain't with all that. I'm done.
Well, I'll say when I was on the show, I felt like the dates, that's how it was. And it allowed you to step out of your comfort zone. Because for me, I would have never went trapezing with a guy. That's what we did. And the guys were complaining like you, they really didn't want to. But I feel like, you know, if you're in a dating experience, you're trying to do something that you would never do before. So I looked at it like overcoming my fears. And, you know, it was challenging because also you don't know these people, and to step into something and do something like trapezing, that's really hard. So I looked at it like it was a challenge. Half of the dates, I would never pick that to go. Like Samson and I went to the ice cream shop. I would pick that up for dessert and serve it if I was having company, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think though, I think for him, I'm sorry.
It makes this premise of the show kind of interesting because it made me also feel like, okay, I want to try that, but I can't see myself taking a guy to try that. So I get it.
Right.
But people want to see you in different environments and just know that you're open to trying different things.
It made me feel like, did he ever watch the show before? It also made me feel like, did he know that he was gonna go date 10 people? Like, is he walking in clueless? Like, come on.
That's true.
Another thing is these, like Sharice was saying, like it is to get you out of your comfort zone. And for the most part, these dates they're coming off of the recommendation of somebody in the cast. And when you get there, you don't really know who set that date up. So the person that you're there to date, it could have been their recommendation to do that. And for you to just automatically be like, I don't want to do this, then that can be off-putting to the person that set it up. You know, everybody ain't like Corey and know how to get through the first date. You know what I mean? Most dudes, most people, like for real, most guys is simple. They're gonna go for drinks or a movie, which is dumb, and then try to get you tipsy. You
Right.
know?
Let me take that back. Kenya, you're right. That was a cute first date. People
Yeah,
say want to do ice cream. You're right. Going for ice cream. I don't want guys to think that's a weird date. It's right. Right, Sabrina? I would go for ice cream. It was a good
I can't go for ice cream. If I go for ice cream, I gotta go straight home.
And you're not
right.
You gotta take a lactate.
I know what you mean.
I mean,
Right.
you're not on the date to burn 300 calories.
I wouldn't
Right.
have
No, not at all.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And what like just the shell shock of it. Like, imagine going to a date and then you're and they're like, yeah, we're gonna do stripper pole lessons, and you a whole grown man. You like, what? I'm not.
That's
doing
pretty
that.
fun though. That's pretty fun. I ain't gonna lie.
It is.
It's
It's
pretty fun.
hard
It's a
work.
workout. It's a
It's
workout
hard
too.
work, yeah.
It's a workout.
People think it's cute. It's yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I mean, I could understand him being off put from the door because I would be off. I would have been kind of a little, but I think that he made a recovery, right? Because he said, you know what, I'm going to do it. He didn't leave out of there. He could have left, like he could have did what I did.
Right.
He could have left out of there and then just been like, nope, I'm all for this. But
Oh, that's what you did. You didn't stay for the date.
I mean, I did a little bit of it, and I was like, I'm done with this crap. I'm all for this, you know, because you got to understand too, men aren't a man's equipment isn't designed to be doing flying yoga. Let's just say that.
He about bad as Febreze talking about his equipment. We haven't even gotten to this
Listen,
segment of the show, and we already. What is it? Your equipment?
I did not. But I'm just.
He
I'm
did not
simply
say
saying,
pickle.
Right. I didn't say the tickle. And then ultimately, I don't think anybody goes and signs up for that show to get neutered. You understand what I'm saying? Right.
Oh my God. Just a little
Dang.
I can't even remember.
I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
So
I
there's
wouldn't
that.
have wanted to go because I know. I was about to say because on our first, when we did the mansion party, I mean, granted, we were outside all day long, but it was a couple of people that were spicy. And I just know, like, I don't want to be on a date spicy. You know, I mean, I wasn't spicy, but I'm just saying, like, you know, but for a first date, that was for me, it would have been a bit much. I think like a nice like lunch, dinner, walk in the park, something a little less active, you know what I mean? So axe throwing. I mean,
like, how old are we? Some of that stuff we were doing.
yeah. So I mean, that's cool. Like I would have loved to have done it, but for a first date, I don't think I would have. I preferably wouldn't.
Samson was dying to take me on a beach date. He just kept requesting it.
Because he knew how beautiful you was gonna look and how fabulous he was gonna look beside you. You know what I'm saying? With the wind blowing in your hair, with the ocean in the background, honey. He was going.
You know, he had his feet done. Samson had his feet
so he
done.
could get up there and do his yoga poses.
Sabrina, was the boxing your first date?
Say it again.
Was the boxing your first date?
They said who was stinking from DC.
The boxing
I
was.
think it was your first date. Yeah.
And then we had the go-karts, which I would have wished they would have shown. It was our first date because ironically, I was on my first date with Walter and me and Tyrone and Zadia. That was our first date, but they never showed that date. That was such a good date. Like that date brought out my personality and they didn't even show it. It was so funny. I was hilarious.
They do an exclusive. So when you guys did yours, did they do exclusives that they showed later, like your dates?
Hell no. No.
That happened a lot with us, and it's happening with them. Like you see a preview of a date and you're looking forward to seeing it on Friday, and then they don't show it on the show, but then they show because they didn't show my date with Swayze. They didn't show my date with who else was it? Samson and I had another date. They only showed them on the exclusives.
They didn't show any of the exclusive. Like I still have pictures in my phone from our boxing date, and it was so
certain things they eliminated it.
Absolutely. Right. And it was just so weird because real quick, since we're talking about it, like I requested because me and Tyrone had this whole Korean connection thing going on. And I was requesting so bad. I was like, I want to eat Korean food. I want to go with Tyrone. Send me on a date with Tyrone. And I think Tyrone even told me that he told them, I'm requesting to go on a date with Sabrina. We want to get Korean food. They set me up on a Korean date. When I walked in, it was with Sean. I was like, who?
That's to throw you off.
They were notorious for that.
I was so upset. I was like, and I think that in the very beginning when I walked in, I probably was like, I could tell like my whole mood was like down because I was like, oh, y'all playing games. Y'all out here playing games. Like Sean was cool, but I really wanted the date with Tyrone. So for them to do that, I was like, y'all petty as I don't know what. I was like, whatever.
They said in the chat, y'all can go now. You and Tyrone could go to the
chat is always
the chat is
always
on that. Before the end of the year, they're gonna marry me and Tyrone off, child. Me and Tyrone we're not gonna keep saying it. We already know and they already know.
Chat is ratchet.
No. Honey, me and Tyrone's single, I'm single, and guess what? We be going out having a great single time together.
I know, that's nice.
No.
That's my brother, So, but anyway, oh my God.
Friend zone.
J-Dub's so disappointed right now.
No, I gave up. I'm not even gonna say nothing. I'm gonna say something. I'm not gonna say nothing.
They said y'all already been. That's it.
We already been where?
To the restaurant.
No, that's one thing we haven't done is gotten Korean food. He was supposed to come down like what, a few months back. And we were supposed to
y'all get Korean food, let me know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we get Korean barbecue like once a week. So
yeah, real talk. Yeah. Let me know.
If y'all come to Miami, we got the fly Korean barbecues.
Oh well, we might have to make a trip this summer. We're gonna come down.
I think y'all should. Why y'all gotta come this summer when it's hot as hell?
We will.
Come down.
Yeah.
It's cold up there. It's beautiful here. Come before
Miami. I used to have property on Ocean Drive, so that's my second home. So all right, guys, let's get back into it. All right. I have no idea where we are. Oh, that's right. Cynthia and Andre. And I'm just gonna say this real quick. Cynthia is my spirit sister. Okay. I love Cynthia. She is amazing. That is my girl. I want to meet her one day. Okay, she is the bomb diggity. I feel like every time she opened her mouth, she's speaking for me. Okay, and every woman out this joint. I love Cynthia. I love Cynthia, and I love Cynthia, and I think she's freaking amazing. All right, I'm gonna stop.
But do you love Cynthia?
I love Cynthia.
I like the way she had her moment. I think they really captured that great. She had a really great moment to shine and express herself as a woman. I think on that show, that's the one thing I wish they allowed you to do more, but they really helped her to be able to bring that out in such a positive, beautiful way. And I felt that moment was a good moment for her. And I'm glad it happened like that, because Because a lot of times, you know, I was like, wow, it took me away because I could never do that. It would take me a little bit longer, but it was natural. You know, you could tell she just really felt it. Maybe Andre made her feel safe enough. You know, that's what I love. He wasn't over talking her, because I felt like with Outcasts, a lot of times the men were telling us who we were instead of letting me express who I am. I never really fully got to say what I was going through or who I was. It was just like, oh, something's wrong with you. But for him to allow her to share that vulnerable moment and make it okay, I thought it was so beautiful. So I agree with you, Sabrina.
Yeah, I had mentioned a couple things, on a different panel. And basically what I was saying is like, as humans, like we're all hurting. We're all being strong for something, either consciously or subconsciously.
Mhm.
And the show makes you like really, really like emotionally gooey.
It
And it just seems like you get on the show, you go through the process, and you are finally feeling heard. You finally get an opportunity to release all of these things that you've been strong about. And it's almost like really, really therapeutic once you get it all out. And if you notice, like a lot of people have cried on the show. And I think
Mhm.
that in that moment, it was just Cynthia's time. And it just happened to be on this first, this date with Andre. And I feel like Andre seeing those tears, like it made it real for him, because he kind of came off like, I'm this guy, from the very first, episode. He's the ladies' man and all that stuff. And it became real. And I think any decent human being, with a little bit of empathy would have embraced that moment and just let her, let that out. You know what I mean? And in all honesty, I think it probably could have been with anyone except, without saying names, maybe some of the folks that Sharice got stuck with. But, any decent person would have, well, should have been there, to allow her to be that way. So,
I agree. I think
yeah.
so for me, one of the times I was actually on a date, and I was sitting there and I was saying, we got into this deep conversation, and then that conversation got so deep and it unraveled, and then she was crying and I was about to start. I was like, damn, I was like, you gotta get your ish together, brother. You can't be, you know what I mean? Because somebody got to be strong here. But yeah, it got that real. And then I left out of there, and I was like, you know, not only did she need that, but I think I needed that too in that moment.
Right.
You know, so I saw when I looked at Andre, and I saw his face, his demeanor. You could tell that he was being real. He
Mhm.
was genuinely being supportive, just based off of his body language. His, you can see it in his face, and that was a powerful moment for not only the date, but for the show itself, and it actually gave us some substance instead of the normal BS that you know the lopsided BS that we see. So yeah.
Hold on, Sabrina. Can I see that watch again?
Who's watch?
I know exactly what you're doing too.
Mhm.
I remember when you said, hold on.
Well, I purposely went last because I had to
Just
get
want to take a
myself
just want
together.
to take a peek real quick. Let me zoom. Okay, okay.
Oh my God. Let me see if I can zoom in.
You can't even see the watch tie. Let me keep going.
No, there's a reason I mentioned the watch.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
wasn't trying to be funny at all.
Okay. Okay. So like I said, I waited purposely to go last because I normally come with the unpopular opinion. Let me get the facts out first. Um, Sabrina, I'm with you. I love Cynthia. She's my new favorite. It used to be Morgan, but not so much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
However, I wasn't touched like everyone was.
Mm.
I'll take the positive things out of it. Andre could have taken her letting her vulnerability out and maybe made a joke or played it off, whatever. But he was there. He was attentive. He listened. But when I saw Cynthia, I didn't see true like her being so vulnerable. I just saw like unhealed trauma. Like she just like broke down. Like she's going through something, and she's maybe not ready to love. She may need some time to heal. Like she hasn't revealed something. I don't know if it's a man, something in her life, but I wasn't moved. I just saw like she needs some more healing to do. But she's still my favorite, 100%.
So I think this is the first time this has probably ever happened. But I don't agree, because my thing is I know sometimes when I cry, it's from happiness. It's not because I'm unhealed, or it's not because I'm not, or if I'm still going through something that I went through before. Sometimes I do cry, especially when I talk about my past traumas and my past situations and issues and challenges that I've been through. And the place where I am now, it brings me to tears, because I can't believe that I made it. Like, I did it. Like, I can't believe I've overcome what I've gone through. And sometimes when I discuss it, when I talk about it, because especially when I do public speaking, it brings me to tears, not because I'm still devastated by the trauma that I went through. It's because I'm flabbergasted and so just excited at the fact that, like, I'm able to still be standing here alive, telling my story and telling you guys how I overcame it. You know what I mean? And that's what I saw in Cynthia. And that's why I say when she speaks, I resonate with her, because I'm like, oh my God, I feel like those are my words, her words. It's coming out of my mouth because I feel it. And I don't feel any trauma. I feel like she has overcome what she's gone through. And then that's why, and the fact that she's even able to talk about it and discuss it on national TV shows me that she's overcome it. It doesn't give me like she's still healing and she's uncertain, or, like she ain't ready to love. I feel like she's absolutely ready to love, but she has her guard up. She has her shield up. She has her wall up. Absolutely. As she should. Sometimes I do too. You know what I mean? But it's just what it is. We can't change who we are. But at the end of the day, it is who we are. And just like she says, are you going to be that man that's going to be able to be there, that's going to be patient with me enough to go through those things with me? You know what I mean? And I love you, Cynthia. If you ever watch this, girl, I love you, and I love you. But that's just my skill. Okay.
I like that you brought that point up when you were saying,
J-Dub, I do feel like different cries, or you can tell if a person is really healed or not from it. I did feel a lot of pain there. So I don't know. I feel like, one of our last cast members, her crying, it was not coming from a healed place. It was coming from, there's still something there that needs to be healed. I think past traumas, when you're over them, sometimes the indication that you're over something is if you don't feel that emotion anymore. It doesn't bring that emotion out of you, but I think it's going to be interesting to see how, what's going to come from this, how she's going to be. And if J-Dub said, if it's going to hinder her from being ready to love, or if we're going to see,
Yeah, I feel you, Sharice. Like, it's an emotional moment because you're there, and for the first time in your life, like, you're actually forced to sit there almost every single day and assess your entire life to figure out how you got here. And then eventually there's that moment when you're like, oh man, like, it is me. Like, I have been doing this, that, and this. And like, it can get really, really emotional because it's almost like you get this epiphany and you figure out that, that you aren't 100%. I'm not going to say that you're not healed, but you do realize that you are not 100%. You are hurting about something. Things that happened previously in your life have affected the way you move. And like, it's like a light bulb that comes off and it becomes this emotional release. Now, if it was something specific that she was trying to explain, like she was trying to explain a specific event, and then that is continually bringing her to tears, then maybe I would say like she's not healed from this specific event, but all of it as a whole, like that's a lot, you know. JW, you laughing?
No, I'm laughing at Ravine in the
Oh,
chat.
okay.
But I want to speak to something that Sabrina said. Thank you for that, Ty. I like that. And Sharice, great points. When you brought up the fact that she was saying like, "Hey, I got my shield," it reminded me of like when, let's say, men or women, when they tell a person exactly what they want, it's like, "Oh, well, I have a guard up. Do you think you can be that man for me that allows a woman to move strongly with a shield?" And the man will say, right on cue, "Of course I can. I love women with shields. I'll hold your shield with you together." And he'll say, "Well, can you be a submissive woman?" And she said, "I've been waiting all my life to be a submissive woman." That's what it sounds like and feels to me, you know. That's all. So it was like a reciprocal thing. Yes.
I get
Will
it.
you cook pancakes for me in the morning? Oh, I love to cook pancakes. I took a pancake cooking class. Yes. That's what it feels like.
Hmm. Hmm. And you're right, profound thinking. The sister from last season, excuse me, was not healed, but she wanted to be on the show to mask her wounds. I'm not gonna say that's why she wanted to be on the show, but it was Flower Girl. What's her name? Sharice?
Flower girl.
Shakira.
Shakira, yes. Now, when Shakira cried and when she talked, I was like, she needs to go heal. You know what I mean? So it's like completely like two different. Like I love Shakira, but I really felt like, and I said it throughout the whole season, like she's just not ready, and it's okay. But with Cynthia, I don't see that. But I get what you're saying. It's J Dub.
It's from a place of strength. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but
And
I'm
that
glad
was,
that.
yeah, I
Yeah,
was
that
gonna
that
say, and that
reminded me
was
of how like
awfully
Samson was.
specific
He was like
with
a
Shakira.
chameleon with everyone. If you like, oh yes, I love to go to the beach. You want to be married? Yes, I always wanted to be a groom. You have a child? I always wanted to be a stepfather. Like every date. That's what it feels and sounds like. Yes, you should be flexible and adaptive, but just going right behind what somebody says, I, I love to crash my car. You know what? I just crashed my car on the way here. That's what I do.
Huh.
That's what it feels and sounds like. We're agreeable on purpose.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I mean, I love that. I love that we all have like different views. Absolutely. So, Kiki, thank you so very much. We have 124 watching. Thank you so much, guys. Shout out to you guys. Without you, there is no us. There is only 55 thumbs up. If you are enjoying this live, I would greatly appreciate it if you hit that thumbs up button. Thank you so very much. All right. So next let me put my glasses on because today I need my glasses today. I try not to wear them because y'all know the glare from my ring light. I don't like it in the glasses, but we're going to move forward. Oh yeah, so I'm not going to read the notes from Cynthia. We kind of already touched on it. So Fabrice in Corvea, and I know you guys wish that Stacey B was here. If she is watching us, hopefully she can tune in. But Fabrice and Corvea meet for a one-on-one date. Corvea tells Fabrice she has wanted a man who had and sold a business, and then he begins to tell her that she is very distant and it's really making him uncomfortable. He wanted to know, was she giving him the whole her? In her green screen, she states that she was very offended, and she's like, of course, like I'm giving him me. Like, I don't understand why he feel like that. He not getting me like this. I'm giving him me. She tells him that she is an open book and she is trying to focus on the moment. And he tells her that she is hilarious.
And I was just talking about that. Didn't I say what Corvea said? Fabrice says, "Hey, you know what? I built a business and I sold it." And Corvea said, "I put that on my application. I specifically wanted a man who built a business and then sold it." She said that, not verbatim, but that's exactly she said that.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Now
gonna
let
get there.
let me flip this on you. Let me flip it. Let's say Fabrice said to her, because Ready to Love is known to do this crap.
Okay.
Fabrice says to her, so, what type of guy did you want? And she may have said first, I've always wanted a guy that had his own business, blah, 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 blah. and then they have him chime in and say that. You know what I mean? And they reverse that. So they sort of change that narrative. So it makes it look like she's been, trying to pretty much play him, like saying, after he tells her, yeah, you know what I mean? I've always wanted to, or I run my own business. And then she comes back and says, yeah, I always wanted that guy to have his own business. I think that could have been reversed, right? So he might have been the one to say his part last. I'm just saying. Now that's just one part. I think there was something missing in that conversation because it went from bad to worse quickly. And we all know that these dates last for 30, 40 minutes. I mean, they was riding a bike. They didn't ride the bike for 4 seconds and then park and got to having this conversation. So they probably got to know each other a little bit along the path. And who knows what the whole context of the conversation was. But as it was shown, I'd have to say, yeah, it looks like Corvea is, kind of, not keeping it a buck, not, like she's just giving the man pleasantries because she wants to be in his good graces. But that's just as I see it, and just like the viewer. But I feel like there's more to that story, right? And then the other thing is because Febreze was off-put quite quickly in that little 30-second or 40-second conversation. And so for him to be off-put so quick and then go from 0 to 100 that fast, there had to be layers to this conversation. I just think that there was something different in there.
I didn't see him go 0 to 100 in that conversation. Could I say that he was dismissive in the conversation? Sure, he was definitely dismissive. But what I enjoyed about it, other than him being dismissive, it seemed like he disarmed Corvea, and to me, it showed like from what I see. I can't go into what production did they edit it,
Right.
I'm going
Yeah, no
exactly what it said. The man said, I sold a business. She said, that's what I put on my application. That's what I always wanted. That was the first attribute I look into a man. Build a business, sell the business. And to me, again, that portrays that gold diggerish vibe. She didn't say, I was looking for a kind man. I was looking for a man that treats me well, makes me laugh, or who likes to travel. She said, hey, I want a man who's built a business and sold a business. That's very specific. I ain't
No, but
saying
that's what we.
So,
right, but that's all we heard. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
Yeah, I got a couple
That's all I
thoughts.
can go on.
I think she said multiple times that it wasn't about the money, right? He goes into the date talking specifically about her, saying that he was going to work to get her to open up. But then in the audio, it looks like he's shutting her down. Now we talk about production, some of the things that they get you to talk about. It almost feels like they've been just trying to give him shout outs about his business because that seems to be the only thing of substance that they always talk about, knowing that he may be leaving soon, right? So he's trying to get him some airtime. So in the audio, the very first question, first thing that we hear is her saying, so tell me about your business, which is supposed to give him an opportunity to talk about something positive about himself and not about sex, right?
Right.
But he seemed to struggle with that. Now, wanting someone who has started a business and sold a business, there ain't nothing wrong with that. I think that is a very quick way to understand if a person has goals, if a person tried to achieve those goals, was successful with those goals, and then moved on to something else.
Right.
As an entrepreneur, like I feel that way too. Like if you are talking to someone and you are talking to someone and they've never really tried to do anything or step out of their shell and they're just living in this comfort zone that they have, like that can be a turnoff to an entrepreneur. Do you know what I'm saying? And we don't really know much about her. The audio does seem really off. To be an older man, knowing that you're on a dating show, knowing that the cameras are on you, and then to still be presumptuous and, come at this young lady like that, who he doesn't know, but is basing his, behavior on interactions that he's had with other women and with an ex where that didn't even work. Right. So he didn't even take that into consideration. And it just wasn't a good look, for a grown man. And, I'm always a little bit harder on the men. It just, he should have been better.
Well, I think he's just going on his playbook of what's been working, and that's why some people are in that same position because they aren't doing different things to seek or find love. That could be said for both of them. And yeah, I think that's what gets the women for him in France or wherever. Well, I was the head of Giorgio Armani, and I
Mhm.
fly Lear jets, and that attracts women like Corvea. She wants to ride on a yacht. She wants the red bottoms.
But there's
That
nothing
goes
word with
hand
that.
in hand.
There's
There's
nothing
no, and it's
gogerish
not.
about that.
There's nothing
I want
wrong
to
with
be
that.
on a yacht too.
Have,
You know what I mean?
everybody have different. Everybody has different goals in life. So, I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think that has any. I don't think that's the forefront of falling in love, but maybe it is for some. Corvea is the love language,
Obviously that ain't working for him, right? And to be in
or
this
her.
industry, right? I know you're going to be in this industry, to supposedly have been around so many women, but are still struggling to talk to women. I'm kind of dumbfounded about it, right? It just seems like he's just been in a position for so long where this just works for him.
Right.
It was very.
That's his hunting. That's his
think
hunting
that's just his
style.
Was
You know
I
what I
think that's his
mean?
personality. I think that's just who he is as a person.
If you look at it, you can see that she's turned to Sabrina. You got that picture up?
I could see everyone's point, but I felt like he definitely overtalked her. He didn't give her a chance, and I don't like it when people tell me who I am. Like, that can be very, triggering for somebody to you just met him and he's like, you're this way and you're that way. Happens to me all the time, but that's not a way to get me to open up. Then I'm just gonna. It's like a back and forth kind of thing, and it just changes the whole conversation. I think that's what happened with them.
You know what I think, though, Tyrone? I truly feel like, okay, they sent Fabrice over there and said, hey, get her to open up. And he probably said, hey, what type of guys do you like? She says, I like, strong-minded people or whatever. I like entrepreneurs, blah, 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 blah. And he said, I am an entrepreneur. This is what I do, blah, 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 right? And then they had this, sort of conversation, and then maybe he said something that made her pull back. And then he's like, because you know how they do the pause and they say, oh, yeah, come over here, talk to us. And then you go back and then they give you the assignment. He probably went back with the assignment again and started badgering her, and just kind of,
But not only that, it was certain guys, even in my cast, I felt the same way. It was like, I'm not going to be all hugging on you and lovey-dovey. I don't feel that way. Like, I don't know you like that. Like, calm down. This is not want to hook up and kiss, want to hook up and fondle me. Like, you get my middle name. Like, what in the heck? I think he was a little aggressive, and maybe that's his style, like he said. But I feel like he was already prejudging her before the date, because he talked about she wasn't going to get sweaty on the bicycle or something. So what? Let the girl ride the bicycle how she rides it. He was already prejudging her. So I think it was a lot of pressure, and it was awkward. It was very awkward. But I feel like she stood her ground, because it's intimidating. You have an older man, and I think she was kind of being funny, actually, when she was like, oh, I always wanted a man like that.
No, she wasn't. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for 1 second. And like I said, I enjoyed it. Other than him dismissing her, I enjoyed it. She looked like a totally different person. Before, she's a a,
And
a lady riding on a yacht, boss baby with the red bottom. She like a little girl in that sense. He totally disarmed. I
So
loved it.
that
Loved it.
means you're being just as presumptuous as he is. You don't know her. Do you know what I mean?
What?
You're just going
right.
off of what
I'm going by what she.
what
I'm
they
going by
told
what
you.
she leading on. I speak
You're
on
going
what
by
she
what you
leading.
heard. You're going by what you heard on TV.
That's all I can go on.
But you don't know her, right?
He
You
is a
haven't had
guy.
a conversation with
All I
her.
can go on. We going too deep.
But it's
That's where we
not
kind
all
of
you
make
can
the
go on.
mistake. We starting to go what we
You
think
know,
the
she
production
might have
said.
saved her money and bought those red bottoms. Just because a woman
Yeah,
has
she
red
could be
bottoms,
successful at what she
gold
does.
digger.
Yeah, I'm just
You know what I
I'm
mean?
just
Yes,
saying
I
when you
pay all my bills. You want to see my bank account? See, I just paid them.
Right.
You
Like
got
if I'm
red.
on
You
a
okay,
got
but
if I'm
red
on
hey,
a
bottom.
Sharice,
date,
you don't lead with that, and you don't
No,
talk
I
about
don't.
money and I believe that you're out on the yachts and all that, but that's not what you're leading with. You didn't do that on the show. You know, you
I
have
try
a
to
right
play
to
that
do it, but
down.
again,
I try to play that down
yeah,
because I don't want anybody
yeah,
to feel this way. Because it's easy to get labeled as a gold digger.
yeah. Why
I
put
could
that in
feel
the
that.
front? That doesn't have anything to do with falling in love. That may
Yeah.
be a preference. That's not. But you know,
It's
go
part of
ahead,
the
Ty.
conversation, man.
Of
Like
experience, it's you got to go with how a person makes you feel and who a person is, because it doesn't matter. They could be a doctor and be an asshole. You're not dating the profession, so don't
right,
look at what a person does. Ask them who they are. You know, that's what I
right,
tell people. When a person asks me what you do, I say, let me tell you who I am.
right. Like if
I
I'm on my first
Thank you,
date and they
Sharice.
don't know me and they find out I'm a military man and then they start assuming, oh, I know military men. Y'all are all for the streets.
And you got good benefits.
Right. Even if I was, even if
you
I
do got
was for
good
the
benefits,
streets,
so
right? Even if I was for the streets, she don't know that. So just to
right.
assume that without even having a conversation with me or
Yeah.
talking to me, I'm gonna shut her down too. So I get it.
Yeah.
I don't even understand what you're saying, Ty. I don't know whose side you're on, but like I
Come
I
said,
on,
mean,
J Dub.
I
Come on,
I
J
I
Dub.
enjoy
It
it.
ain't
Your
about sides, man. It's not
your
about
face was
winning.
gone.
If
Your
a guy
position.
I
leaves with what he
I
has, I'm
feel like you've already
automatically.
put her here and you're not gonna change, you know.
No, I mean to me, she from what I see, from what I saw on the TV, that's all I have to go on. From what I saw, she's been consistent to me, and I'll make that as assumption on what I saw. My yeah, that's my perspective on it. It don't change. Gold digger.
But she
No one
hasn't
said, "Oh,
done
no one." Ah, please don't cut me off. I'm still talking. Thank you.
okay.
Um, it has nothing to do
Yo,
with wanting nice things and all that. I'm telling you what I'm seeing on the screen and what she's leading with.
So, what's your
It's
definition of a gold digger? Somebody who's looking for a man with benefits, right?
no looking for a man to come up and to you're just meeting. We're not even. We just got to the like what they say, being vulnerable. She's off the break. I need you to spoil me when you
Uh,
come to me. I need a present. I need money. I need shoes. I need you to
to eat.
prepay for Sharice at her spa. Prepaid when I go. Stuff like that.
I get them prepayments,
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It comes that way, but it's usually
gift cards.
transactional. And I thought I see Fabrice as the old player. He get those type of women all the time, and that's what he called. Hey, she could be, she could not, but that's what I saw. He totally disarmed her. He pulled her card, as Marriott said. She was a totally different woman, and I loved to see it. I loved it.
hey, you know what though? Let me say this. There is something in Fabrice that, and this is this is hurting me to say this, but I have to recognize what real is real. Um, I feel like there's some sort of uh, genuineness, honesty to him. I feel like he has no apologies, right? I feel like he, was always honest with these women up front. That doesn't make him the greatest person, but I do have to commend the man for, um, standing on who he was, who he is, and coming in and just saying, you know what, this is who I am.
I agree.
This is who I am, and I'm going to let you know this is the person you're getting up front. Now, if you don't like this guy, I'm not the guy for you, but I stand on who I am and I won't back down.
Understood. I totally understand that. But to still come on TV, knowing that you're in a date, and the first thing, since we're talking about audio, first thing we're saying is it was so hard for me not to look at your breasts.
I'm talking about my
That's literally what the man said on the date.
But that's
we
what
talking about
everything
Corvelia
led
or
me not to
Phil?
look at that.
That was what
that's what
we
I'm
heard.
talking about how he is, right?
But
That's
yeah,
what
he's
we
inappropriate.
heard. That's not what he said. That's what we heard up front. That's probably not what he said. He didn't just from the door. I don't think he came in and just said that. Like, that's just weird. He doesn't strike. He seems like a successful guy, right? And I think that, you know, most people that operate businesses had come in with a lick of good sense. Like, that's not the first thing you say out of your mouth.
Paul, she gave
I think
him
that's what
two chances to retract that, and he stood on it twice.
I
think that's
what you mean. That's not what he said.
No, I know he said that. I just don't think that was the first thing that he said when he first looked at the woman. That's what I'm saying. That's what we heard, though.
But he was still standing up. He was still standing up when he said it.
Understood. But what I'm telling you is that you know the games that they play. And I get it. I get it for television purposes. It probably looks that way. And I have to believe what the television says, but my greater mind knows better than that. I mean, that's you know, I'm not here to, you know, to defend his flaws in his character or anything like that. I just find it hard to believe that a man is gonna, you know, approach a woman with those words right off the bat. Like, just any, you know, well-to-do person is just gonna say something like that. It sounds obnoxious and appalling, but
you also just said you applaud him for being who he is, and that's just who he is.
No, I do, and I stand by that. I stand by that. But what I'm saying is that I know that there's still something that they have to do to hypen up the character that we're looking at, and so that was the appropriate thing to do for us to buy into it.
So you got all this. Y'all have all this defense and everything for Breeze.
It's not defense,
but not the
defense.
Same energy for Corvelia.
No, listen.
Don't put me on that.
That's cool.
Hold on,
That's cool.
Time out. I said from the door, I don't think Corvelia would say that right after Fabrice, you know, says, "Oh, I own a business." I don't think she would follow that up with, "Oh, I was waiting for my Prince Charming to come with," like, that didn't even seem right. And I'm saying that, you know, in the whole conversation, that there seems to be a lot that was missed to make Corvelia sort of look like, you know, she's this shallow and that she has no substance. And I can tell that was cut out based off of the way that the conversations went. I'm not defending either of the two in terms of, you know, what they wanted us to see, but it's just, I'm saying that there is some background that probably we haven't seen, or, you know, maybe that will come out later on in the reunion. That's all.
I need to clear my name, Ty. Defame my name. I never said that I agree how Fabrice moves. I think he's creepy. I think he's inappropriate. I think he sexually harasses women. Now, I don't think he says it. Anytime you say, I intentionally push sex talk to a woman to make her feel uncomfortable, to see where she's at, to shock her, to move. I don't agree with anything like that. What I'm saying is this boss on the yacht, red bottom, first class woman who put on her application that she wanted a man, her Prince Charming, to build a business and to sell a business. That was her forefront. What Fabrice did is just took her down. All that facade she got going on, she looked like she was 17 years old, talking to 100%. A grown man.
But you're saying,
I don't agree. I don't agree with him dismissing her.
No,
but I like to see him knock her off her stool. That how she did, like with Mark Anthony and all of that. You know, I didn't like that. After that conversation, I was done with her. It wasn't even no need to go further. I know what she's about from what I see.
Why does
Done.
that give you so much joy, though? Why does her
Oh,
expressing what she wants in a man seem like a crime?
because it feels like fraudulent, meaning it has to me, in my opinion, it has nothing to do with love. If you wanna go $1 million matchmaker, that's okay. You want $1 million man, say that. Say that. You're not gonna find normally you're not gonna find other
But
than you're not gonna find that $1 million man on Ready to Love all the time. So what I'm saying
So
is
you ain't gonna
just
find that on
say I
Ready to
want that
Love, yeah.
say I want that
but
man with the money and that's all I care about. I want the lifestyle. But
she never she never put a number on it. We even said it last time where I said I'm anxious to see what her number is that qualifies for success or qualifies for someone's ability to spoil her, right? Like I would imagine that every man is going to spoil their woman, right? That's what ultimately
no,
what you want to do, right? Are you saying you don't want to spoil your mate? Is
Ty,
that what you're
I feel
saying?
like this here. I feel like this here. I don't
you
want, no one
picking
wants to
words
be
apart. I
Is
told.
it
never said
wrong?
that
But
you
is it
said a
You don't want
number.
to be told
is
that.
it wrong
Like,
to want to no, is it wrong to
hearing,
want to be spoiled? You mentioned millions just now, J Dub. You mentioned
Okay, I
millions.
wasn't
You said
being
she should go a
specific like she
millionaire
said it.
matchmaker.
She want yeah, I mean that's what it's coming off to. She want the money. That's what she loved.
right,
She loved the
right.
lifestyle. She want the money. Okay, I won't say million, because she never said million. My goodness, my goodness. I stand on with it. I think the way she behaves is disgusting. I don't think I don't think like, oh, because this woman, this is what she wants, and a woman has a right to say what she wants. Let's cut it out. Is it love or is it the money? And it's okay if it's the money, but that don't have nothing to do with the love. She want the
Yeah,
money. She want the lifestyle.
I feel like this here. There is a certain level of female that I'm willing to tolerate, right? And you know, there's one that I would just not deal with. And so if I walked into a situation and financially that person wasn't there, I know that it's checkout time, right? And so there's nothing wrong with having standards. There's nothing wrong with her saying, this is a life that I can provide for myself. I want my energy matched. I get that. But there's something wrong with it, and this would only be, if this came out of her mouth. When you walk up to somebody and say, give me this, give me that, or get out, or or keep it moving or whatever, there's something wrong with that. If a woman says that she wants to be spoiled, yes, obviously we know all women want to, but no man wants to be told that you need to spoil me. It's like,
I
you
do.
tell me that, I leave, I'm done. But if you let me do what I do, you will see that happen. But the moment you tell me that I must do this is the moment that I'm done with it.
Oh man, I mean, I could keep going. Like you literally just said
I know
that
you
there
need
is a
that
go
PO.
ahead.
I know how you to get it. I know how to
Like
get in your.
like you literally just said that there is a woman who literally needs to meet a certain threshold of financial status, or you won't even mess with her, right? Like you just
Period.
said that, right? So you have
Right.
what you're looking for. You have your standard.
Right.
She has hers too. It just may
Mm-hmm.
be a little bit higher than what you may consider appropriate. And
No,
now it's
and
offensive. And now it's
and no,
offensive to you
that's not what I'm
because
saying.
it's just
That's not what
not
I'm saying. No, Ty, this is what I'm saying. The
okay.
thing is
Maybe I'm
this.
getting y'all
If
mixed up.
Yeah, okay, just let me just clarify. So if I come into a dating situation and I sit down with a woman and I'm like, how much money do you make an hour? How much money do you make a year? What type of assets do you have right now? There's something wrong with that. But I can sit back and pretty much let somebody be who they are and see what see what type of stuff they on or whatever, and organically learn this information and say, okay, this person is not the person for me. But I won't demand up front, like, yo, man, if you ain't making over $100,000 a year, we can't even talk. Sorry.
But you
Because
will ask her.
No, PO,
But you will ask her a question
woman
about her
has the
profession.
right. A woman has a
Right, Paul?
right to ask for what she wants. If she
Yeah,
wants
no,
to know, she wants
absolutely.
your bank. No. I'm being sarcastic. She has a right to your bank statements and your
No.
asset sheet. Exactly. That's what it looks
Right.
like. That's what it feels
Yeah,
like.
and
Turn over the
that's what I'm
wallet,
saying.
and maybe
Right.
I'll give you something in return. Maybe my presence.
Because yeah, exactly. Because the thing for me is this: if there may be an instance though where okay, maybe somebody doesn't financially meet there, right? But they have all of these other attributes, or they have this other ambition that would mesh well in my own personal life, and I can overlook those financial things and say, you know what, this person has X, Y, and Z that they bring to the table. Although they're not here financially, we may have, a little bit of deviation where that goes, but ultimately, I think that the wins are better than the losses in this and take it to another level. But we never get there if I just assess the situation from the door and say, yo, you ain't got, you don't have nothing. You ain't got no, you ain't even, you still driving a Chevy. I mean, come on. Like, that's shallow. That's all I'm saying.
Paul.
There has
that's
to
the
be
word.
there has to be a way to, which I know about, deliver.
Come on, Paul.
To
You know you
deliver.
walked away from some women once you found out they was broke. Come on.
Of course. But the thing is I didn't say to them, and I didn't give them a questionnaire, and say, look, this is what I need from you. This is the type of money I want. Or are you meeting this type of salary bracket? It was just like, okay, they told me where they worked. And I said, okay, I know what the earnings potential is for that. And I don't think I'm here for it. And then I'm done.
But you're doing the same thing. You're just tricking them into thinking that you're not doing that.
It's not tricking them. It's not tricking them. It's not tricking them, because the thing is if the earnings potential doesn't align, and then they're not wowing me, or they're not giving me, something that I could get from somebody whose earnings potential is where I'd like them to be, then it's like a lost cause, because ultimately there's going to be some resentment. So I'm really salvaging your emotion that I'm about to take you through. If not only you aren't doing it well for me in terms of, my treatment, or, being there for me, or we're not aligned in whatever ways, but then you also don't have what it takes financially to support yourself and the relationship. I'm going to be resentful. I'm going to be like, man, I'm all for this. And you're going to catch some heartbreak from that.
Yeah.
So why waste your time?
I like that you said, why waste your time? I probably won't say no more about this. I feel her. I like where it's going. She don't know how long she's going to be there. So I actually like that you said not wasted time, right? Because that works. I know what it took for me to get where I'm at, and I ain't going back. And if I was in a position where I had to figure out, I'm going to try to figure that out as fast as I can. So I get it,
I think that there's a quality though to that. That's what I'm saying. There's a quality to having that discussion, right? And it doesn't have to be aggressively rude, or the ask can be polite. You can still be tactful and get the same exact information that you want to get, instead of just coming to somebody and saying, I demand this, period, point blank. Yes, you can say that, but then people are going to judge your character, even though you may just want to get to the bottom line. People will judge you based off of how you communicate. And I mean, if you can't communicate effectively in that beginning part of a relationship, what does the long haul look like? What does the tough times look like? What does it look like when you have to have these conversations that, really, will either make you sink or navigate those tumultuous waters? What is that? What's going on with that? So, I mean, you can stand by that, brother, and I won't knock you, but at the same time, I feel like there's always a way to be tactful and get the same information.
Okay, so you literally came out with your credit score when you was on, right? Corey came out with the 360s.
I was asked about it. I didn't come out with it. They asked.
You could have said, you know what? That's not a good conversation to have right now. But you did it because you wanted her to know.
No, because I'm confident. You understand what I'm saying?
Because you knew what the numbers was.
Yeah, I was very confident in that number.
Paul.
No doubt.
No doubt. You could have just said, you know what? It's too early to have that conversation right now.
I could have.
Like you just said it.
I could have, but I mean, you know what? But when it suits you, no,
you good.
No, what I'm saying though is this: when you get to that level, right, and somebody says something to you, there's no shame in that. It's like if I had a 750, I would have said that. It just happens to be that I don't.
Would you have said it if it was 500?
Hell no. I would have. I would have reverted and said, I could, I haven't checked that score in a while. I have to get back to you on that. Yeah,
okay.
You damn
right.
I wouldn't have said that. You're absolutely right.
Ooh, glad we got that cleared up.
Yeah, no doubt.
What's up, Sabrina? Sharice. My bad.
Help.
Nope. I've been here the whole time. I was like, I ain't even gonna jump in. I'm like, yeah. I was like, they got it. I just sent y'all a message in the private chat. I was like, I'm here. I love it though, because sometimes people really need to hear, especially like on my channel, because like 80% of my followers are women between the ages of 30 and like 55 to 60. So it's like it's good for them to hear like a man's perspective sometimes. You know what I mean? So
no doubt.
But no
doubt.
I appreciate that.
Ty is going out of his way to not understand. I've said it. I said it. You're going out of your way to make sure you don't understand.
No, I understand. Like I do understand. I just said it. Like I'm an entrepreneur, right? I know what I have. I know where I was, and I don't want to waste time with a woman that's going to bring me back to where I was. Like why? Like I am successful. I don't want another project. I was my own project. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. So what happens when you meet someone, Tyrone? Do you say, and how do you get to figure that out? How do you know when they can do it for you? Exactly. You have conversation, and you don't just say, okay, sit down. What's your name? Okay. You okay? Now that we know each other's names, what's the money hitting for? You're not doing that. There's an approach, man. That's it. And you can still get that information.
No, P.O., in the chat, they saying that we don't qualify. That's why we have some feelings about asking to be handing over our wallet. You suppose, listen, a woman can ask for whatever she wants. You can't. You can't. Remember that.
Right.
Sabrina,
let them speak and you don't.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What's a decent pair of shoes cost?
A decent, well over 100.
It depends on who's wearing them.
Okay, so
well over 100.
That's not handing over the wallet, right? It's $100.
Right.
Yeah, I wear Skechers, so I wear.
So you like that's like 80, 89.
No, Corvea. She told Demario the Furby that she wears red bottoms. There's no Skechers.
Yeah, I have red bottoms.
You got to afford.
But I'm trying to get rid of mine. I don't. Yeah, it's not that serious. But but she and I were. I mean, I like those nice things. I've been on cruises. I've been, I've had all that stuff. Like I've dated athletes. I've dated ball players. Like I've done all that. You know what I mean? But she's a lot younger than I am too. And, I have the bags. I've been flued out. I got all that. I've had all that stuff. But where she is in life and where I'm at, it's just, we're in two different places. So I can relate because I've been there, but I'm just not there anymore. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, it's cute, but when you get older, that stuff really in real life, it doesn't matter anymore. Like I'm trying to get stocks. I'm trying to get bonds. I'm trying to get timeshares. I'm trying to get property. I'm trying to, you know what I mean? Like my mindset and my long-term goals. I don't have short-term goals anymore. I mean, I do, but
Right.
getting a pair of nice shoes and going on a cruise this weekend, those are short-term goals, and those just aren't my goals anymore. So she and I were just not on the same level, and it might have to do with age, but like I've kind of been there and I've done that. So like I'm trying to get rid of my red bottoms at this point.
And see, so I'll say this, and I believe, in all honesty, I believe that there's a lot more substance to Corvea. I think that there's a whole nother person behind that we don't know, right? And I feel like the presentation is it's there on purpose to give us this, this one feeling, right? I don't believe that she is as coarse as she is being made out to be. I'll say that. I do think that, there are some elements to her that might be out of a lot of these guys on that show's league, right? But at the same time, this is a show that tests your comfort zone, right? Are you comfortable with dating multiple people in front of each other and things like that? So you have to have some flexibility in that theater. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it just seems like her flexibility isn't there in that theater that they're all in. That's the thing that I'm saying. Bottom line.
Okay.
Sabrina.
So do y'all have anything else to say about Fabrice and Corvea before we move forward? I don't want to interrupt.
Nope,
So-
we're good.
Okay. Yeah. But at the end of the day, what I'll have to say to it is, to each his own. If that's what she prefers, if that's what she wants, like, who am I to say she's wrong for feeling like this, or she's wrong for feeling like that, or he's wrong for, because everybody's walk in life is different. And if that's what she prefers, and if that's what she wants, then that is her. Who am I to say, and who am I to judge, or whatever the case? If that's what she wants, that's what she wants. Some people might call her gold diggerish. Some people might just say that's what she wants. And at the end of the day, that's just my personal opinion. If she wants the finer things, if she wants if she wants to get flued out in the cruises, then that's what she wants. And she just needs, and I appreciate her saying that. And she's not wasting the people's time. You know what I mean? But the thing is with me and her is like, you can't be on there and you can't say that, but then you try to backtrack and retrack or whatever the case might be. So if that's what you say, then stick by it. You know what I mean? So, but I feel like if she can afford it for herself and she want her man to be able to afford it for her, then that's what she want. That's what she need to go get. And I just don't think that her man is on the show though. So
That's true. I don't either.
Yeah. So, but I hope she finds, because everybody needs love, wants love, you know what I mean? So I really hope that she does find someone that can, mesh well with her.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we're going to move forward unless you guys have anything else to say about Corvea and Fabrice.
No, I think Fabrice was trying to get Corvea to the 400 square foot mansion.
400 square foot mansion.
Hotel room, which is didn't see. And she wouldn't have it.
I don't think so. I think he went there to read, write, and erase her. That's what I felt like he went there because he didn't show any kind of even in the very beginning when he was like, she gonna be checking her makeup and her like he was like, I'm glad I'm on this date, but you know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, whatever. We'll move into that. We'll move into the final thoughts when we talk about the very end. So Marcia and Lyndon sit and talk. Wait a minute. Marcia and Morgan meet with Tony and Lyndon for a double date. Morgan tells them that she has never been in love. Tony says that it's not a red flag, but he definitely wants to question more about that. Marcia and Lyndon sit and talk. Lyndon mentions that they exchanged numbers, and Marcia was like, yeah, but you ain't use it. He apologizes and says that, yeah, it's my schedule. Marcia was like, you know what? I'm not going to let you off that easy. You make time for what you want. They both said that they're attracted to each other and wanted to take and he wanted to take the opportunity, she's thinking he's going to tell her something, but in real life, he's trying to kiss her. She wasn't having it. Marcia says that she obviously misunderstood him. Tony and Morgan walk off. Tony says that there is that he is there for intentions and finding something or someone special. Tony says that he wants to make his woman feel safe, give him a hug, give him feet rubs. Says that she wants a man that, hold on, sorry guys. She says that she wants to have a man to have his own intimate relationship with Jesus. She says that she hasn't found that her entire whole life. Morgan says that he is kind, that he is sweet, but she is cautious because he is well known amongst the ladies. She calls him Smooth Tony from up top. She wants to know, is he just smooth with her, or is he smooth with her and everybody else?
So, all right, let me just say this. Tony, all right, I have to unpack this brother a little bit. So I will say this. There's a point in one of the one of the trailers where he's saying, yeah, how do you feel about me kissing Morgan more than you, or whatever, right? And then that rage or whatever, the Lord or Jesus didn't control his rage in that. And so for somebody that, is coming off saying, Jesus, this, that, let's pray and all of that. First things first, if somebody knocks on your door and they got a Bible in one hand, you should assume that they got a Glock in the other, right? Because you don't know these people, and they're going to show you the good book to gain your trust. And then they're going to unload on you once they get it. And so for me, I think that, I respect anybody that has a relationship with their God or whatever. I'm not taking away from that. I just feel like it is a forefront, and by the way he's using it, it's a forefront to gain different access, a different type of access to these women. I constantly hear, well, let's pray together, let's do this. But then you see this contradictory stuff that's getting ready to transpire, right? I just feel like there's something about Tony that I just don't trust. I want to give him, a pass, but I have that uneasiness about the guy. And this is only episode 3, so this could change. But based off of what I'm seeing right now, I think he got the Bible in one hand and a Glock in the other. Yeah.
I'm glad that you mentioned that, Paul. I actually break that down in my official trailer breakdown. Nah. Yeah. So there's a couple of the guys that I couldn't fully form a trust relationship just yet. Tony is one of them. I don't see anything wrong with him being, when they were at that table, like you always say, Paul, you don't know what it was like. You don't know production. You don't know if Lyndon said something slick to him to where he had to, let Lyndon know, like 2 pastors going at it. All right, now Pastor Johnson,
Right.
I think like in the moment, Tony, does like Morgan, and also he's good with just about everyone. And you'll see that like when he goes on the dates, like he's good. You could tell he's confident about himself. It almost feels like he needs to be the lead dog and everybody needs to know that he's the head guy instead of just being the head guy. So you'll see his competitive spirit come out. I'm anxious to see more from him. I think he's got it in him. I think he can with the right person. I just feel like the person that he may want actually sees through him right now, and it may get to a point where she just can't let it go, especially if she's already seeing it. You know, that's just how I feel about that.
Thank you, Ty.
Yeah, and obviously, Morgan is has got the hots for London as well.
Are we talking
They
about
kissing.
Lyndon
I mean,
right
they
now
kissing.
or later?
No, no, we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But we know that both of them are kissing.
Because if there's anybody you could judge,
Who?
it's Lyndon.
See, I can't do it.
Come.
But we'll get there.
What are you
We'll
not
get
seeing?
there. We'll
You a
get
guy.
there.
What are you not seeing?
Yeah,
I mean,
Lyndon doesn't have a lot of substance.
I think. See, you gotta understand though. Lyndon is a hunter. He's hunting. He's out there on a hunt, and so you're in this arena, and you have all of these people there, and if you're not tapping in, then you're tapping out. And he's just trying to see, okay, can I get something going with this person? Can I get something going with that person? Until he finds the person that he's meshing well with, that's giving him that same energy. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, that's what that is the assignment. Period. And so some people may look at that and say, "Oh, he's doing too much." But if he wasn't doing that, then you say, "Oh, he ain't doing nothing to be here anymore, or to be on these you know, dates." So I feel like he's doing his job.
But you can hunt because you're hungry, or you can hunt for sport.
I mean,
And I
it's
feel like he's
probably
just hunting for sport.
no. I think that no. I could tell you this. So you have to understand his life, right? His
Uh-oh.
lifestyle. He has a sport, or it's already a sport. I think that he's hunting for not sport but preservation, and and probably for for his appetite. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. I haven't seen him be disrespectful. When he went to go after the kiss for homegirl, he he wasn't sure. He asked. He wasn't sure. It wasn't like he just said, "Hey, come here for a minute," and went for it. He was like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I thought we was on the same page." So he's just looking for that connection. And you know how it goes in these lounges. That's the challenge. Find your connection, see where it is, and make that thing grow. Make something happen with it. So I mean,
Are you saying it's okay to be looking for that physical connection on the
yeah.
first date? Because I think he would be the only one.
Well, I don't think so, because we have Fabrice saying that he wanted to f the whole world.
And
So,
that didn't work for him.
but it didn't work. But I mean, he did the same exact thing. Lyndon is going about it in a little bit more tactful approach. And I mean, come on, you like you said, we are men, right? And so for me, maybe a hug might do it for me. Maybe for Lyndon, it's kisses or whatever. It's that type of physical interaction. You can't tell somebody. I mean, your love language may be one thing, his may be something else. And I mean, if he's going for it and they accept it, it's like I'll give you a quick story. You go to a bar, you might go and tap one girl and say, "Hey, I want you to go home with me." You might get the drink dumped in your face. Go to the next one, and she might slap you. Go to the next one, and she might try to call security. But you get to the end, one of them is going to say, "Absolutely, I was waiting for this to happen." And I mean, that's what he's doing. Nothing wrong with it. He's being
Yeah,
respectful. He's doing his assignment.
yeah. With Lyndon, I just don't see like he's just giving like a bare minimum. He's just trying to get in wherever he fit in. And Marcia was actually interested in him. She was letting him know that, hey, I'm not concerned
Mhm.
about your other connections. I'm trying to see what's going on like right here. But the fact of the matter, he says he likes her, but he didn't call her. So, that's very telling. But again, he wants to slide in for the kiss and he read it
Mhm.
wrong or whatever. I'm just, that doesn't feel like a big effort. It doesn't sound like, again, like somebody who's ready to love, like he's playing the field. Yeah, you're supposed to mingle, but it's supposed to be something meaningful. I think they kind of got into the vulnerability dates a little early, but
Yeah.
again, that wasn't much vulnerability or connection. He just wanted to, what'd he say? I'm just like he's a kid middle school. I'm just known for smooching. I smooch everyone. I got your number. I don't call you, but can I get a smooch? You know, and that's what they named the episode after. Ain't much there. And then we can go to Uptown. I said Uptown. Smooth Tony from up top. He I got a thing about New York. That's just me. I have a bias against some New York people. And I just think he's city slick. And he gonna play the guard, and I'm gonna be the man for you. I'm gonna rub your feet, cook your dinner, pay your bills, buy you the red bottoms, do everything what a man's supposed to do. Whatever she want to hear, that's what he gonna do. But as P.O. said, yeah, we see later he has another side, and that is a thing when people say, oh well, there's nothing wrong with praying. Absolutely, it's not. Um, Respecting, worshiping, all that. That's what you do, but you should also live that way as well. And I don't see that. I see him being very slick, conniving, and even Morgan questions his motives because she knows better. She's like, something's off about it. Like, I think like all this sweet talk, he does this to everybody, and I believe that. You know, that's it for me.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it was something that I wanted to kind of piggyback off of, and I forgot it now because I wanted to not interrupt you. But
I appreciate you.
yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I don't know. It'll come back. Maybe.
Well, someone did mention in the comments that, hold on, where was it? That Tony said that he's not religious, but he is spiritual. And they said that they don't remember where they saw it right here. Oh, actually, it was April. I heard somewhere that he's not into churches. He's spiritual, not religious. And you guys, if you do recall and remember, he actually did send some inbox messages, and it was posted on Kamisha Reviews. Shout out to Kamisha. And she did, and I guess he maybe was talking to her, I'm not sure. And she did post that, and he did pretty much say, he's like, I'm not religious, I ain't in the church, I ain't into none of that stuff. He was like, but I will say that he does believe in a higher being, a higher power. So just to kind of clarify that, if you guys didn't know, that's want to watch the replay or in the chat right now. But he did mention that. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Then maybe that's some deception. Maybe it's a little bit of pulling wool or something. I mean, I don't know. I can't stand here and say this brother doesn't believe what he believes, right? I just think that it's a terrible lead if you're not going to walk the walk, Yeah. But who knows at the end of the day? I mean, I saw a guy praying, over the food and everything else when he was on the date, and he's specifically cut time out to do that. It wasn't like she asked him, are you going to pray? He demanded that, or not demanded, but, pretty much said, hey, let me pray and whatever. So I don't know. There's that part. Yeah, while he was praying up food. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I just, I'm not saying it's not that I don't like the guy. You know what I mean? I just don't have enough to form a true opinion about him. But if I was to be surface, I would say Bible, Glock.
Mm-hmm. People have been inboxing me that. It's crazy. But people have been inboxing me saying like it's giving like he been to jail. Like, and I'm just like, what? Like, so yeah, hear me out, guys. It's not my words. I'm sorry, but I am going to talk about it because we're talking about it right now. But I just was like, really? They were like, yeah, like he giving me like he done been to jail, but he trying to be like a good guy. But if you pop off wrong, he gonna go back to jail because he gonna pop off. I'm just like, for real? Like, hey. So I like him or whatever. I think he's cool. I just feel like honestly, it's too soon for me to make Yeah, like it's just too with Tony, it's too like Fabrice, I
Right.
knew right away. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? With Corbeya, I kind of knew right away. With Tony, I'm like, you know, I still really don't know. So
Right. Yeah. Well, we know that Tony goes quite some, at least to episode 6. We know this.
I mean,
So.
I think he's gonna be there for a while because in real life he has Marcia, he has Morgan, and I think I mean it's still early, and in 2 connections, really that's all you need to kind of stay in. Really, you only need 1 for real. You don't really need none.
Yeah, exactly. Depending on who that producer
depending
is.
which season it is, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because
Right.
there's people that done had 1 connection the whole show and they made it to the very end. There's people that had multiple connections and was off by episode 4.
Yeah,
So,
and I fell on the sword in my season for a lot of men, for them not going home. I fell on the sword for them because of that.
Yeah.
Hey, is what it is, you know. I got broad shoulders.
Oh my gosh.
The juggernaut.
Well, I don't know. You know, I hope he says he's there intentionally. He says that he's there to find a wife. So if that's why he's there, I, you know, hope that he finds, you know, what he's looking for. You know what I mean? So because even though like, cause that's what it might come off like on TV, but in real life, he really might be that guy. He really might be a great guy looking for his wife. You know, he's not religious. He's very spiritual. He believes in a higher power, and that's just what it is. And
yeah, but they're showing him in a very, very soft light, and I know damn well he's not soft.
well, we don't know because we see future episodes with him. Yeah,
he
like
got the
I didn't kiss Morgan. You mad because I didn't kiss her 53 times and you ain't kissed her none. You know?
And that's why I feel like, you know, they're just engaging us with the softerness so that they can show this explosiveness. Right.
As they do, because they be building narratives, and in the very beginning, you like, oh, I really like her. She's so sweet. Oh my God. And then by the 8th episode, you like, oh no, I can't stand that. She ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Or he ain't, you know what I mean? So I get it.
Yeah, there it is.
All right. Well, so next up we have Jeffrey and Demario. They go on a one-on-one date. Demario has never ridden a horse before and they're going horseback riding. And he says, but he does catch on quick. Jeffrey does ask him about dating a woman with children. He mentions that it is very attractive because of the responsibility she's obviously had to have had as a mother to him, and being a responsible mom, and pretty much he can help her with that. He feels by the end of their date, their relationship is flourishing and that they have great chemistry. Jeffrey says that she can definitely see herself moving forward with Demario on this journey. So, horseback riding. Have you guys ever been horseback riding?
Yeah, I've been there. I'm a general at it, you know.
Oh.
Yeah. Wow. I'm a general. You know, I got videos on my IG, you know what I mean? I could teach you all about it, but that's another story.
Wow.
But yeah, so for this, I don't feel like they have a chance on this earth to make it with each other. I just see 2 polar differences between the 2 of them. I feel like and I like Jeffrey. I feel like, you know, she's, you know, solid for me from what I'm getting from her. I think she's a solid one. I just think that he's a little bit different. I think that the fact that, you know, he doesn't have kids at all might be something that could, you know, potentially stop him from, you know, moving forward with her, unless, I don't know, there's some sort of breakthrough or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I don't potentially see them doing much of anything, to be honest. I think this was just like a filler date. I think that the language that she used talking about going forward with him was filler. I might have to eat these words, but I think that's, you know, when I looked at that picture, I don't know. I didn't really see that like connection. It just seemed like a platonic date, and they said, "Hey, you know what? Maybe we could, try to figure something out, but it's going to be forced. But let's force it and see what happens." That's what I get. There was no romance.
Yeah, real quick before we move forward. What's up, Randall? King Randall has joined the chat and joined the room. What's going
What's
on?
up, brother?
What's going on, man?
What's up, Randall?
All right,
bro?
all right.
So,
Yo, Randall, man. Yo, listen, man. Next time you come to DMV, one time on the court, I need you.
Oh, hey, be careful.
Well, hey, let me jump in here real quick. Hey, Randall, I get on tie about fumbling the ball with Sabrina, and I don't know when I'll see you again, so I just have to do it while we here. And you let Blue go when I seen on the show. I mean, like the personality just lit up the screen. Like I don't even know this woman, but I know she's a wonderful woman, and I can't believe you fumbled that ball. That's something serious right there. So I just had to say it.
How you use fumble? You don't even know it though.
Well, I mean, I'm an energy person.
Yeah.
I can see it. I can read it. I can feel it. She coming off the screen. It's real. Is that serious?
Yeah, Brittany dope though. I'm not gonna fake. She dope. I'll leave it at that. She is a dope person.
Okay.
Like, you good. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say fumble though.
Okay.
What'd you say? You threw it, huh? You threw the ball.
I didn't say that either.
I didn't say that either. Yeah.
Egg me
So
on.
I'm trying to get him in trouble, man. I quit. I'm sorry, brother. I'll see you on that court.
are we talking about the same person? Y'all talking about the same person?
Yeah. Brittany, my ex.
Oh, okay.
She came on the show.
Just making sure.
Called about a nickname and all that. I'm like, damn, I just got on here.
J-Dub, we're waiting for that. He been waiting for that.
Like he segued into it and everything. Like he had to have that written down somewhere.
Nah, that's how I do it. Ty know. I usually give it to him. Yeah.
That's me.
They keep saying I left to go do my skincare. Hey, Randy.
What's up?
What's up, King Rando?
How you been?
I keep him. Good.
She lived down the street. I ain't seen her in a minute. She lived right. I can walk there down there.
I know I drive past your house every day.
So we are actually talking about I don't know if you guys want to say anything else, but we were talking about Jeffrey and Demario on their one-on-one horseback riding date. Would you guys or anyone else want to respond or have anything to say about that date?
I'll say this. I'll say one thing. Just
oh wow, we all spoke at once.
All right, let's go with Tyrone first.
No, I was gonna say I can understand why she would want to explore more, right? He seemed to be pretty cool, laid back, hasn't had any issues with anybody just yet. If there is one thing I want to know, it would be if he knows how many kids Jeffrey has, before he responded to that question. That's all. Because to go from 0 kids to multiple kids is a big step. Right? I think it's at least 2.
Okay.
And that's a big step. And I'm just trying to get an understanding if he like truly understands what taking care of multiple kids means.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot to it,
Right. What were you getting ready to say, P.O.?
No, I was just gonna say, if Jeffrey, man, you're gonna take somebody on a horseback ride, you can't quit before they do.
They might have told her, P.O., it might have been editing. They might have told her that, all right, yeah, it's time for y'all to get off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Randall,
he was like,
ready to say, oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying, he's like, yeah, another round. And she's like, nah, I'm cool. He's like, Why not?
I don't know. I didn't remember the why not part. I
mean,
remember the lady saying, "Do y'all want to go another round?" And she was like, "No, we're done." Yeah,
and I think I was just saying his energy was like, I'm doing this now.
Yeah, he was. He was like, I'm getting the hang of it.
Mm-hmm.
Randall, what were you about to say?
I wasn't about to say anything yet.
Oh, okay. I think it was Sharice, but Sharice, are you there? All right. All right.
Partially.
Yeah. So just to let you guys know, Sharice is in and out. She's handling some business, but we do appreciate Sharice being here with us. All right, guys. So moving forward, we have Jonique and Lyndon meet for a one-on-one date. Jonique says that Lyndon's nightlife does not bother her. She opens up about how she compares compares all her men together. She says that he appreciates her opening up and being vulnerable. Because remember, you guys know that Tony told them to let the guys know something about them that they normally wouldn't tell. And that was one of the things that she compares all her men. She says that they would have a good time together if they were to go out because of his lifestyle, and that, pretty much she's cool with it. And he's like, it's not always about going out. He says a lot of times he is behind the desk. So, and she's like, well, I can see us having a good time together. So
Right.
Your thoughts?
Of course, Linda gonna say they're gonna have a good time. I like Jonique. You know what I mean? I think she's successful. I don't know if y'all noticed, but she blinging too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Got the links up here. She tried to hide them a little bit, but you can see it. I don't think she's gonna get a good look on the show. I don't think the dudes is gonna really give her a chance for some reason, but I like her.
Yeah, I think I wish we could get Lyndon on here for this, but I feel like how to say this? I feel like Lyndon would probably hang out with her. She's not Lyndon's speed, right? I don't think that there's anything romantic. But I do think that, Lyndon would probably take her out and show her a nice time. I think he would definitely, compliment her in that way. But yeah, I didn't see anything, coming from this. I didn't see any real meat on the table. It was just kind of a date. And yeah, like Tyrone said, I think she's going to probably get pushed off and get sent home.
Yeah, I didn't see anything there. It looked like two friends just hanging out. And when I saw that date, I kind of wondered. I was like, why do we keep seeing Lyndon? Like we're seeing the same people. Like there are other people. Like you can almost forget them because we were never really introduced to them, or we don't know anything about them. Lyndon went on 2, 3, 4 dates. I don't know how many.
Like, where's
Lyndon?
Anthony? Like it's so like Blue. Like where are these guys?
Right.
So I could tell you this, just based off of from what I know about the behind the scenes thing. When you start seeing these people up front and you're seeing them often, like you've seen Lyndon appear multiple times, these are people that's going to go the long run because and that's why they're casting so much light on their stories as they go. I don't think that there's going to be any time soon that's going to check out for Lyndon. I think Lyndon's going to be one of the people that makes it to the end or very, 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 very close.
Wow.
Along with Blake. Yeah, those are my two predictions so far. Randall, I knew you was going to the end, brother.
They didn't even play me like that in the beginning, though.
I knew you was going. I already knew you was going. It was already written, brother. We knew what it was.
He had a few of them.
Right.
Options.
I don't know. I don't see Lyndon going all the way to the end. Who do y'all think? Who like? Okay, for the men, who do you guys think it's going to be 3? Sorry, if I have paint on my hand, guys.
There might be 4. There might be 4.
So
y'all had 4.
So let's say 3. Who do you think are the top 3 men that are going to make it to the end? Just give me your idea of who might be going to the end, just real quick, starting with Tyrone. The 3 guys you think.
I did discuss this in my breakdown.
Check it out on his YouTube channel. Which channel is it?
Tyrone Wilson.
All right.
So I think we definitely confirmed in Andre. We confirmed, well, not confirmed, but I think Mark Anthony is up there. For the 3rd guy, I don't know why, but I'm leaning towards Blue. For the 3rd guy,
I'm not getting enough burn.
Yeah, I think there's a reason for that. Like, he's a safe space for everyone. You know. For some, I don't know. I feel like I could see Blue and Corvea. You know, at least
they haven't even been on a date though.
I know. I don't know why, but
which
I could
is
see.
Crazy.
But
Yeah,
I'm not behind the scenes like Randall, but I'm just guessing.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah,
It's who do you think your top 3 guys would be to make it to the end, real quick?
Smooth up top, Tony, Lyndon, and Mark Anthony.
What about you, Randall?
It's gonna be a good ending.
We didn't ask you that. I'm not asking you on the what. So in your head, without you knowing, who would you have thought from just you watching to episode 3? I already know you know, but who would you pick to from what you see up until episode 3 that you would think would make it to the end?
He's like, damn, you making me lie now.
No, because up until episode 3, like I kind of know who's gonna make it to the end, but then it's like I kind of have my own opinion on who I think up until episode 3 would make it to the end.
He said, "Yeah,
Oh,
exactly."
Okay, PO.
So
what the hell?
I'm gonna say Blake is gonna be one of them. I think Blake.
Wow.
I'm saying Blake is gonna be one that's going to the end. I'm going to say London is gonna go to the end. And I'm going to say I know Mark Anthony probably would be close, but I think he's going to snap and blow up something. Something's going to happen, and he's going to get off, and he's going to be out.
It's with DeMario.
Yeah, I don't think DeMario's going either. So I would say probably Blue. So I think Blue, Blake, Lyndon, and if they had a 4th one, maybe Mark Anthony. I'm not Mark Anthony. I'm sorry. Tony. Up top, Tony. If there's 4, but if not, I'm definitely going to ride with Blake, Lyndon, and possibly Blue. But Lyndon might be my wild card. Lyndon might be the guy that gets to that last one date and be like, you know what? It's checkout time. I think he might be my wild card.
SJ, leave me alone. Well, I think Blake is completely not gonna make it to the end. That's how
he's gone. Nah, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gonna end up going. I feel like. So let me say this. I feel like I remember seeing. No, I'm not even gonna go there. I feel like. Who is it? Andre is gonna make it to the end. The one with the in the front.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry. Yeah. That's, you know what? Get Blue out. Put Andre in, and then we good. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I feel like Andre's gonna make it to the end. I feel like Tony is gonna make it to the end, and I feel like Honestly, I want to say it's a toss up between Demario and is it Demario? I know Mark and Anthony, but who is the other? Because their faces. It's definitely not going to be Lyndon. I think it's Demario. Demario has the pretty eyes. So Demario and Mark Anthony, I think. But I want to give it more towards Mark Anthony than Demario.
Hey,
Andre.
Randall, if she's not even close, do like this, brother.
Peanut. I like Lyndon too. Like I really like Lyndon.
Listen, I'm telling you this. Demario is going to be out. He's not going to get his connections or whatever. And they're going to friend zone him or whatever, or he's going to just be up there on a different list. They're going to dismiss him.
Kind of feeling.
He's gone. He's out.
That's how
Andre is definitely going to go with the curl. You know, he's our sensitive guy. Unless there's something crazy that just jumps off, I feel like he's going to do that. But Blake, you understand, Blake is carrying the show. Blake is carrying the show.
Those women
and
want
listen,
kids, and he don't want no kids. And already they got a salty taste in their mouth because regardless of what Jeffrey said, golly, let's hurry up and get to that scene.
Yeah, let's get to it. I mean, I'm telling you, I feel like Blake is going to go very far. Blake will probably be up for the next elimination too, and he's going to make it through that.
You missed the scandal, PO. You know, they already questioning that he locked in with Jeffrey.
Exactly. So they already got like that in the back of their head. Yeah. In the back of their head, they're already like, even though, okay, let me hurry up. Okay. So the ladies meet in, sorry guys, the ladies meet with Tommy at the ladies lounge. They discuss their strongest and so not strongest connections. Jeffrey reveals that Blake says that he hates that he has to go through this process because he has already found his girl. He says that Jeffrey is his dream woman. He wants to know who she is going on a date with, what time she is getting done, who is her top, etc., etc. She says she feels like she's in a relationship and she ain't even in no relationship with this dude. She says that she has not been able to breathe. She is not interested in a man like that. And Sue Ann says that he is one of her closest connections, and that has not been her experience at all. Tommy tells women that that each or they have one man to get a second chance with the second chance lifeline, because he did tell the men already. Now he's telling the women that, and to pretty much to let them know to use it wisely. So let's talk about what Jeffrey said. So my question is, because I've seen it all over social media, do y'all think Jeffrey lying? That's the question.
No. Okay.
No.
So this is the Carmen and PO battle once again. You know, you always have that confrontation, that whole thing. So I'll tell you this.
He said it, but he didn't say it. But he said it, but he didn't say it. But he said it, but he didn't say it.
But I'll say this. I believe what Jeffrey said. Jeffrey said, you know, that he's talking all this, and I believe that he probably stated his case. He made his case and was vying for, you know, a connection with her. I 100% wholeheartedly believe that he said that. Now, was it to the degree that, you know, was it Snoop Dogg funny? Was it to the was it to the degree that that, you know, that it was made out to be? Possibly not. And I mean, sometimes it depends on your delivery. Interpretation may be different, right? So if he's meaning one thing here, but saying it one way and it's interpreted a different way, it could come off as, yo, you hawking me. But if she's not telling him, like, yo, you're really hawking me and you're on my back, he keeps going on, then he thinks that his job is working. Like he's putting it in. So there could be some you know, interpretation that may be off there. I believe that those words probably came out of his mouth. I do think that it's a little bit messy to bring that up in that situation, because I was a firm believer when I was there. If I talk to you, whatever we talk about is us, and I'm not commingling relationships. So don't ask me about who I feel or who's my top or whatever. Like right now, you should be, in the moment. So if we talking, you're my top right now. And when we get off this phone or get out of this date, who knows? So I mean, I think that was probably a little bit messy. But ultimately, I don't think Blake was wrong for stating his case. You have to,
Yeah.
um, and the task at hand is go after all of these women and see which ones does it for you. And he found two, maybe three, but he found a definite two that does it for him. Or as Fabrice says, tickled his pickle, you know? And and so and so that's what you got. There's nothing wrong with it. I think that the way that it was brought out, they tried to discredit the fella, and Blake, of course, he's going to save face and not say, yeah, I said this stuff to her, because why would you do that if you're really trying to get to know somebody else? You may be in a different space with a different person, and you tell them that, and you're being honest and vulnerable with that person, saying, look, I'm really feeling you. But if that's used maliciously, and you show me that, okay, you're not giving me that same energy, why would I sit there and stand behind that statement when this kind of fell through like a wet paper towel?
I think he said it.
Oh, I mean, I think I'm not going to say he didn't say that,
Yeah.
but why would you uphold and carry somebody who's not carrying you,
No,
right?
I agree.
So of course he deviated, and he did the political spin. He said, yeah, you know what, baby man, that's all just some hogwash you listening to over there. This is where it's at. Yeah, I'm sure that he probably put that spin on it.
I'm also like, why did she do it? Like, exactly what you're saying. Well,
Right.
why would she say all of that? Like, what would be her point of doing all that? Like, what?
Right.
Thought process?
So I mean, is there some inner beef going on in that ladies' lounge?
Right. There you go.
That injected all of that type of venom, to where somebody's like, oh, well, you think that's your man?
Right.
Well, your man just, what I'm saying? Your man is telling me this and this and that. Now, how about that? And there might have been a little bit of extra sauce on there, you know what I'm saying? And it might have gotten a little bit blown up, but at the end of the day, there are words. And, when somebody says one thing that's true, if you throw a little bit extra sauce on it, it's going to make it even more believable. So, yeah, definitely Blake stated his case, but, I think Jeffrey might have, put a little bit extra sauce on it,
I think there's things that he said, and I think there's things that she interpreted. I think it's also kind of ironic that, they say what happens in the lounge stays in the lounge. So I do understand them having conversations. It's just that we get to see and hear everything that happens in the lounge.
Right.
So that's also weird. I think he's smart enough to understand that he needs to go a little bit harder in order to stay on the show, considering he's been on the bottom. So I don't think that she has anything to gain by lying. Do you know what I mean? But he also didn't deny it. And he was also presented with the opportunity to actually say who he has a connection with. And I think he basically just said, yeah, I do have a connection with someone. And it was obvious that, she was trying to figure out if it was her or not. Sue was trying to figure out if it was her or not. And then he also has this weird thing where it seems like he needs to find a way to get the women to connect with him in some way, shape, or form by like giving Sue a nickname. You know what I mean? And then there's multiple conversations with Jeffrey. So one of the things that I don't understand is if he like blowing you up that much and it's exhausting, are you gonna say anything to him, or you just gonna allow him to just keep blowing you up? And then if he is blowing you up, I need to see the receipts. You know what I mean? Show me the call log, text log, something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on the name thing. I think the Susu name thing was just something fun in that moment. I don't think that he was really trying to angle her with that. I don't think he was looking to, you know, to get some sort of extra credit or extra points with that. She took that though, and she blew it up, I think, and made it come off that way. Um, I see Blake as being. I don't think he's doing anything extra. I think he's like, look, man, I'm here, and this is what you're gonna get. Do you like it? Oh no. Well, I mean, this is who I am, so I present you Blake. I think that's his whole energy.
But he did make that their little secret connection, Paul.
I mean, he said that, I think, in fun. He said, we'll make a code name, and I could see anybody doing that just sort of as an icebreaker, or just as having like a sort of an inside joke with somebody or whatever. I don't think that he was crafting that up to make it something that would angle her to sort of sway his way. I mean, she probably took that as, oh, that's so cute, that he gave me his own little nickname, and it's actually cute. I like the name. I think there was nothing to that. That's my opinion.
I know I say it every week, but I definitely, if I do anything wrong, I would definitely want Paul to be one of my 12 jurors. Because, bruh.
You're going to bring that doubt in. So as far as as far as Jeffrey go, I believe everything that she's saying. I believe Blake is on the wrong show. I think he's on Survivor. He's creating alliances and being strategic, and he's just, nothing he does is just like, oh, I'm just giving Susu a little name. He's trying to have that connection or that link to her where like he's manipulating her, because I don't think he's interested in anybody on here for real, if you ask me. But
I agree.
Yeah, with
well, I don't know,
Jeffrey saying all of that, if he's pressing up on her like that, yeah, I mean, she's making it known, and she's made it known in the ladies' lounge where Tommy says whatever goes on in the ladies' lounge is supposed to stay. So she has the room to do that and paint that picture. And everybody's not confrontational. Like Ty was saying, well, why don't she say something to her? Some people back away from that, especially with people they don't know. They rather, like, in some cases, retreat. So
right, no doubt.
I believe everything she's saying.
I feel like I said, J-Dub, I don't know if I don't think that he's actually going out and intentionally, I should say, doing these things. I just think that, that's his personality. Now, to my question to you is you're saying that, he's out there just trying to survive, but I don't think he's trying that hard to survive. I think he's just working with the resources that he has, which is the two. I mean, he went out with Jeffrey, but I think Susu is his, his bread and butter connection. I think he's nurturing or trying to nurture that and keep her on the squad. Now, I will say this: maybe Susu is a vote for him to stay on the show. It's it's his lawyer in the ladies' lounge, and maybe he sees something in Jeffrey. And keep in mind, he's probably at this point of the show, he's probably saying, "Yo, damn, Jeffrey, like, what the hell? What did I do? Like, I thought we had something going on here, and he's probably caught off guard by that, because he's thinking, I thought what I had with you was a moment, and you could have told me, sort of, if you wasn't feeling me like that, you didn't have to take this approach. We could have done this in an amicable way, and you could have just kind of let me know to back off, and I would have gladly have done that. That's the vibe that I'm getting, from him after the disclosure of the information. But I don't think he's out there fighting hard. He wasn't doing. I don't think he was selling himself to a lot of these women. He just said, "Yo, I'm here. I'm Blake, and I'm here. Holla."
I think he is selling.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Randall.
Yeah, I think he is. He I think everything that she said, he probably said. She might have exaggerated a little bit, but I think he said all of it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I think he said all of it, and he just didn't expect it to come out. The name of the game is to get as many connections as possible, so you only get eliminated. So he just ain't expect to hear it again. You understand what I'm saying? That's the only thing. I think he said all of it.
Right. And so there's a part of Ready to Love that should be this. The first part of the show should be called Pimps and Hoes, and then the second half should be called Ready to Love, because initially you have to figure out how many people you can pimp or get on your list before you can even begin to start figuring out who you really want to establish a true connection with. Otherwise, like the game show part of this is you'll be out of there like last year.
Absolutely.
And so, that's very unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? But that's just the way that it has to go down. And so, yeah, Blake is probably in this stage, maybe he is playing that game or doing the game approach. He's probably got his two women that he's got on his radar. He's got his lawyer in there that's lawyering up for him when the ladies, go for on the Attack in the Lounge. And then he's probably picking a little bit, and maybe seeing what's sticking. But I don't see him putting himself out there a lot, to be honest. I haven't seen that yet. I just seen him out on dates. I don't know, man. I'd be if Blake goes home early, that will force me to reset my whole vision about this process.
Well, he's definitely not going to get all the way through.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
He's out for 80% of the women.
Yeah, like I believe that he said those things to Jeffrey, and like y'all said, like I don't think that he thought that it was going to get out, because I realized that with the show and behind the scenes, like it's like Game of Thrones out this joint, like in real life. You know what I'm saying? And you don't realize that you've been thrown into this Game of Thrones until something get thrown at you and you like, oh shoot. Like you don't get how serious and manipulative and how like it's a game out this joint. You don't realize it until you're thrown in and something happens to you and you like,
right.
You're blindsided. You have no idea that it's
right.
I don't even know how to put it into words. I mean, I do, but then I don't, unless you experience it. And I think that he was blindsided, but it made me feel like the way he was looking, and the fact when we haven't even gone to that part yet, but I feel like that she did over exaggerate slightly. I mean, a lot of women do that. And yeah, but I feel like I'm gonna keep it 100. For some reason, I really don't feel like he was like, I found the one. I just don't believe he said that to her. Like I haven't seen anything between them at all. And I don't know. And for him to kind of throw him under the bus too and be like, I don't like no man like that. Like Tyrone said, when was you going to tell him? Right. Like you sat there and listened to all the stuff he said. Who you going on a date with? Excuse me. What time you getting back? Who is your top? You sat there and listened to him through all these different conversations every other day or every day that y'all was having, but then you gonna wait to go to the women's lounge to throw him under the bus. So that's what made me kind of look at her like, are you really telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth? So help you. Like I just don't know. I just feel like it's something fishy. I feel like she's not being truthful. I feel like, in a sense, she might not be telling the truth. She might be throwing him under the bus because in real life, she's trying to stay in the game. We are talking about Game of Thrones. And she feels like, guess what? He ain't interested in me. He ain't one of my connections. So guess what? I need to get rid of
He can
him.
be selfish.
I
He can be selfish.
need people on the game that's going to be voting for me. And the people like they did me, when they felt like I wasn't going to vote for them and they was trying to get me voted off the game, the show or whatever. So they tried to throw me under the bus, talking to the guys. Yeah, you need to, she ain't feeling, she gonna feel she feeling Walter. You see what I'm saying? So they did that with me too, to try to get me knocked off the game because I was a threat. You know what I mean? So maybe she feel like he not playing the game to her advantage. So he need to go. Same with what they try to do with Walter. I mean, it's bad that it's like this, but that's just the reality of it, and that's just a little behind the scenes for you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I like Jeffrey and I like Blake separately. I think that of the ladies that Jeffrey would be one of my picks to make it to the end. I'm like, that's kind of one of the persons that I want to see through this whole process. And then you have Blake. And just for those who is questioning why is he rooting for Blake? Like, Blake is giving nothing. I'm always out here, to uplift the underdog, right? I'm gonna hold out hope until there is no more hope, and then I have to let it go. But I'm gonna stand by the fact that Blake there's got to be more substance to him, just cause. And this Tyrone, yes, he has been all his life. Here go the lines, and then I color all around that. I never stay in the lines.
And FYI, April Gaines, everyone, that's P.O.'s sister. So that's why Tyrone asked April.
Right.
Oh my God. Okay. Sharice, thanks for coming back. Because you already told us. You're fine. Do you want to speak on Jeffrey and what she said about Blake and what he said to her? Like, I've already found my girl. Like, you're the person I want to be with. I hate that I have to go through this process. Who you going on a date with? What time you getting back? Golly, Jesus, that is so loud.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry about that. My bad.
Oh, did you want to speak about that?
I'm gonna wait to speak about that because I just think that is a bit much. It is very territorial. I think starting out, that's a bad way to be.
So do you believe that Blake actually told her? Do you believe that Blake did tell Jeffrey that, or do you feel like Jeffrey was swelling a little bit?
It's hard to tell. It's so hard to tell with the clip, right? It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell who's lying because same thing kind of happened in my situation. So
sound like Sharice knows something. But go ahead. Sound like Sharice know a little bit of something.
I don't know anything.
Come on now, stop lying. We want to attack you in the back room. We're waiting.
It's a tactic. I just think it's a tactic because it did happen on our season. Like when somebody goes in that lounge and they just say all of that, it's a tactic, a deterrent. They even want to get rid of somebody or scare somebody off.
Yes, it was extra.
Yeah, it was extra. So I'm saying, like, he probably said the base level of it, but she added on to it. You get what I'm saying? She's trying to get rid of him. Like that's on purpose. That's why I was like, why did she do that? I'm more so caught up on why would she do that? What would be the point of her doing that? It's not even about what he said.
That's how I feel, because I've been through it, so I get it. If I hadn't been through it and me just watching it, I would be thinking totally different about it.
Y'all have, trust me.
Well, you know what though? Here's the thing, and when you go in that back room and you do that stuff, what they don't realize is this: no matter what you say, it's the producer's word. At the end of the day, they give the final go. And so there was a point in my season when we had this big consensus. It was like 5-2. And they said that person was still able to stay there. And we like, what kind of toilet paper math are we doing? 2 rolls of theirs equals 4 of his. And like, what's up? I didn't know. But it doesn't. But what that does do is that creates a better situation for television purposes. And so now you have this dramatics that continues throughout this process, and you get to get that organic drama, and you only have to drum it up.
I like being on this side of it this time.
Oh yeah, okay, okay.
Kind of cool over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Way different when we on the other side.
Yeah. Episode 1 of Potomac, I was hyped. I said, let's get it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And
yeah, I'm so glad to be off of that screen.
Man,
Yeah.
when she said I'm like, yo, that is such a perfect analogy. That is it. It's definitely Game of Thrones in the beginning. Everybody's playing the game a little bit.
Yeah.
Everybody's playing. There's all power moves. Who got the power? Who got the most connections?
Exactly. And just to let you guys know that don't know, because it is 190 of you watching, shout out to you guys. King Randall Scott. Randall was on Ready to Love Miami with Charisse. So just to let you guys know, he did come on a little bit later, but if you was wondering who Randall was. So yes, we are all on the other side of it. And then we have our
Thank
master
God.
guy over here. It's J Dub running things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, J Dub being here is nice because he gets to reel us in from the viewer perspective.
Exactly.
Because we know all of the effery behind the scenes.
Right.
And J Dub is like, I don't care nothing about that. This is what I see. And this is what you're gonna get.
That's right.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
Focus on what we see. So I Sabrina, I want to say another theory towards like your belief or say y'all belief. Could it be that Jeffrey, again, like I said, didn't want to confront Blake, and this was like maybe a way out because he actually confirmed that he is controlling. And look, we talking about what, 2 weeks in? I don't even know if it's 2 weeks in. It might be days in. At what point does she feel like she's in a relationship and he's like checking her and where you going or how long you coming back or what did you do on the date and all of that? And like I said, he confirmed a bit of that, and that was a super red flag. Like he was like, "Oh well, I had a feeling that was going to come up. I didn't want it to come up." What are you talking about?
So
How
all
can you
that Blake
stamp
said that he was
Yeah, he was
controlling himself.
he was controlling. Yeah. He didn't want that to come out.
He was like,
Yeah,
I
he said, "I
figured
can
that
see
was
that."
going to come up. He was like, I figured that would come up because that was actually said on the elimination date when he was sitting there talking to Sue Ann, because she was
Okay.
like, did I say her name wrong?
No, that's right. But I feel like that was the setup right there. I think that you know how they do it. They take something, man. They're very
He
crafty
stamped it,
with the
Theo.
way, huh?
I say
What'd
he
you say?
stamped that. I say he stamped
Yeah,
it. He
but
approved it.
but they do that in a way that you believe that that's what came out of their mouth based off of how they edit that particular portion. Yeah, I totally understand. Yeah, I totally understand that the words came out of his mouth. However, contextually, it may be a lot different. You know what I mean? So when we hear it, it looks like it's a cohesive conversation, but in actuality, it's not.
Didn't you just say I said I don't care nothing about that? I go on what I see on TV. What on?
Oh, I know
on TV,
you
he
do. I know you do.
confirmed it.
I
He
know.
confirmed it on your screen and my screen. You know, you might have a little more experience than me behind the scenes, but that's what he said
Right.
on the screen.
So,
So if a man could
and
admit to that and say that he did not want that to come out, we talking
understood.
some big time issues. Big
Understood.
time.
But I
And
always like to
I
say
know
this.
one
Mhm.
more thing. One more thing. And
Mhm.
if I know everyone thinks that all the women are healed on here, that could be triggering for somebody that controlling, you know, and that could get a
Mhm.
little scary. Like I just met this man 7 days ago. Now I gotta tell him what I did on a date, when I got back, who I was with, did I kiss him, all that kind of stuff. And
Right.
I'm done. There
No
you can
doubt
go,
about
Peter.
that. Yeah, I mean, real talk. In this process, as a man, woman, I don't care who you are, you shouldn't be asking people what the heck they did on their date that you were not a part of. It's none of your business. Period. Just deal with
And the
it.
show would be over.
And you know about,
Right.
and Randall, you know about that.
The show would be over.
I don't know who
People
you
get
talking about.
territorial. They
I
lose
had
it.
Right. But people don't, but see, and like that's what I was saying. People are out here playing Game of Thrones, and there's some people on this show that don't know that they in the Game of Thrones. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So I think that he was just genuinely curious and was asking. He might not have been to that extent of what she's saying, but at the end of the day, he probably was like, so who you going on a date with? Because guess what? The women on our season was calling the men like, so who you going on a date with? Da, 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 da. Because people need to know like who we need to mark off, who we need to X, who we got to put a check mark by, who we got to put a point with, who can we get on our team that's going to be in alliance with us. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that happen.
Right. So for real,
And
Blake might just be playing the game. At this point, I personally
damn, it's too early. It's too damn early for this.
and
It's only
too early.
the third
That's
episode.
why I'm like, it's hard for me to be like, because in Jeffrey head, she thinking he being controlling, but in Blake head, he like, nah, I'm trying to see what I got to do to stay in the game. Like we really just don't know.
It's not too early because he already been at the bottom. It's not too early.
Nah, but see, listen. But that's the thing. When you're at the bottom, right? You don't know this. You don't know this when you're going through the process. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, you just show up and this early in the game, you don't know. This is only episode 3, right? So you don't really know how often you're being at the bottom and the conversations that's taking place in the ladies' lounge. You understand?
He had an idea, Paul. He was at the bottom. He eliminated Z, and he even said that he felt it was kind of weird that he was even there. Remember, he was saying like, "This is kind of strange, but okay." So he has an idea.
But this is the thing. What I'm saying, from my experience, anyway, I think I probably was in the bottom damn near every episode, right? Based off of what you saw, but realistically, that wasn't the actual case, and we know this. Facts. But so he might just have fell off on a sword for the dramatics of television. I mean, there was a point where, and I think you guys all probably experienced this in the ladies or men's lounge or whatever, where you have them go around saying, who are you not connected with? And then they ask you one name, and then they say, give me another. And then they say, give me another, until you give them the bingo name. And then they have it all stacked up. And then they say, okay, cool, we got the information. And then when they play it back, you like, oh, I never even said that. Like that was just wrong. See what I'm saying?
I was asked that on my date. Right on my date, on camera, she asked me. And I couldn't believe that she asked me. I think it's kind of exhausting to Jeffrey because she ain't feeling him. So even 2 calls, 3 calls is exhausting to her.
Well,
but the thing
why does dude keep blowing me up?
Why she entertaining him?
Yeah,
on the phone. Entertaining him?
On the phone, you get to say, "Get the F off of my phone." Period.
Period.
You get to own that. You get to own that.
But then
they're
she
not-
loses
Hey,
a
that's
vote.
on the show. You know, on this show, you can't just tell people to beat
But
it.
she loses a vote. Yeah.
What do you mean? Yes, you can. Yeah.
What the hell
Yes.
did she just do in the lounge then?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can do that. I did it.
No,
You
I
can do
don't
what?
see-
Tell somebody to beat it.
Yeah,
Why
I
you
think they
me?
asked her why. I think they asked her why she wasn't feeling them, and this is why.
What was you gonna say, Randall? I'm sorry.
Paying it back. Oh,
No,
No,
I'm
I
sorry.
said, I don't believe y'all was telling people to beat it. Like I don't believe that. I don't
Oh
believe
my God!
I did.
Listen,
I did.
who you told you?
I
No, I
did.
didn't say it.
Yeah.
I didn't say it
Tyrone
like that.
definitely did.
it. Oh man,
Tyrone
Yeah.
said it
I didn't
another
say
way.
it. I didn't say it. I didn't say it like that. But
that's what
Listen,
I'm saying. Did you hear?
I was
He-
definitely honest
he was my
early.
my thing is this here. I own this phone. Therefore, when you call it, you're calling me. If you don't like it, get the F off.
Like,
But I'm
look
gonna
at
say
Lyndon.
exactly what I want.
Like Lyndon, she was like, I gave you my number. He was like, yeah, I ain't called. Like, what?
Facts.
Right. So for Jeffrey to sit there and listen, and obviously it was happening over time because she was like, he wanted to know when I was going on dates, what time I was getting back from dates. So obviously it was more than when she was entertaining him. So that's why I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you pick and choose.
Yeah.
Who you can talk to, regardless if she was trying to get a point or whatever, but you was listening to him. So for you to go to the lounge and then be like, yeah, he ain't my type of guy. Well, you should have told him. Just like
Listen.
I had to tell I don't
And
know.
let me just give you an insider tidbit. And J-Dub, you're invited to listen to this. So all of us on this panel have been told if before we even got into the process and everything, we were told if you are asked to do something that you don't like to do or that you don't agree with, you can tell them no. And so there were plenty of times where production would say, hey, ask this question. I'm like, are you crazy? I'm not asking that. What kind of, who do you think I am that's going to even say that? There's no way you're going to make me say that. Or there's no way that I'm doing this. Like, there were certain castmates in certain situations, and I told them specifically, if you do that, they're going to make an ass out of you. Don't do it. And they did it anyway. and I didn't like that because they thought that they were compelled to do it. You don't have to do none of that. And like I said, you own your phone. You get to tell them to get the hell off of it at any time. It's your stuff.
So PO,
Yeah.
everybody, especially women, are not juggernauts. Some of that behavior can be triggering, like a man pressing up on her. Jeffrey trying to get a daddy for them kids. Blake probably already got the key to the bottom lock already. I believe all of that. So he said that's his woman, the same way like Ty would say, somebody is his wife. Men kind of claim things, and some women don't have the courage to say, hey, back up off me. That's too much. Because some women been through some things. So when that kind of behavior shows up, they retreat, they shrink. So everybody's not a juggernaut. They don't stand up when they should or speak up when they should. That could be men too.
That's true.
Yeah.
But then you don't have to answer the call. You don't have to take the call. If the guy's
I told you Blake got the key to the bottom lock. I'm telling you, she wanted to be the daddy for the kids. I'm telling you.
No, I defend both men and women.
Well, Blake need to unlock that personality. That's what he need to do.
He been going off his looks the whole time because he hadn't been bringing nothing this whole season, and the ladies still loving him. And not only does he not have a personality,
but doesn't that shock you?
He's arrowgant.
Doesn't that shock you though? Doesn't that shock you that
really
he
feel,
has
J-Dub?
Well, let me fit. Yeah, at the same time, and he admits to all these things. He says that, hey, look, I am controlling. Hey, look, I am combative. And guess what? They said I'm combative. I'm going to be more combative after you telling me corrective information. I mean, and at this point, I'm nervous. A woman can still keep coming forward, hearing that. I mean, it's tough. It got to be tough out there because
But J
ain't
Dub,
nothing good come to you. You get that information. Nothing.
listen, my brother.
A lot more
I'm
conversation.
There has to be something in your mind that says that's odd that so many women would listen to this guy and he's still in the game, right? So that tells you that he is saying these things for true, but he's also saying other things that you don't see.
Right.
And so while that's happening, as the viewer, it looks like, man, he should be out of here and you want him gone. But they're not showing you that other side that they're tapping into. So we get this dry sort of just, guy that's kind of pompous and, just like this is me. What you see, what you get. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, we have a question for you in the chat.
Well, what's the question?
It's on the screen. Can you see it?
Oh, no, I probably wouldn't. But because I don't know him though. I don't know him. I don't know him well enough. If I had an honest back and forth conversation, and we're only learning 45 to 120 minutes about these people at a time. Facts.
Paul is backtracking now.
No. It's true. It's true. We're only learning about these people 120 seconds at a time, right? So for me to have a conversation with somebody in 120 seconds and think that I know them and have them pegged you can't do that. You can't do that. Now, had I had a conversation with somebody and had some ongoing conversations like we do, like you all have, right? Because you've been there, you've been on your dates for 45 minutes to an hour, and you left those dates and you're like, damn, this is all they showed? That's it? After we had these other vulnerable moments?
All the time. I mean,
yeah. But see, so what we're seeing is what we're judging. That's the thing. What we're seeing is what we're judging. And so if we don't get to see more, we don't know. We don't get the whole story.
Exclusives. What you laughing at, Sabrina?
Sabrina's going hard over there.
These comments.
I'm loving the thread.
Oh, somebody said it's not a recap if P.O. doesn't question.
They got you down. You should have been a lawyer, P.O. They got you down
as
a public defender or something.
Listen. I'm trying to tell you, there's a duality here.
You in editing?
I am in editing.
They said they could tell.
Oh my God. All right.
Listen, I have not been. This is not the first time I'm hearing that I should have been a lawyer. Trust me.
Oh,
I hear this all the time.
Oh God, I love y'all so much. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to the nitty gritty and discuss this real quick.
Yeah, let's get to
it. Blake and I was about to say Felice, Lord have mercy. Fabrice are the two guys on the bottom. Fabrice is the one to get eliminated. Your thoughts? So we can move forward.
All right.
He was ready to go. Anyway, he needed to go find somebody to pickle his tickle. Or
tickle his tickle. So, listen, I feel like that was the only time that I really seen Fabrice be a little bit vulnerable. Okay, and I saw his whole demeanor shift in a way that he was like, wait a minute, this is I'm not here to I felt like he wanted to say his whole demeanor was saying, I'm not here to hurt anybody. I'm not here to, disrespect anybody. This is just who I am. This is the way that I've grown up. This is what I've been exposed to. I'm not trying to do anything wrong to you people. I just want to, I don't know how to, express myself to so that you get it, so that you understand where I'm coming from. I
Mm.
didn't look at him as the slime ball that I thought he would be at first. It gave me some perspective into who he really was, and it was just that moment in time where I'm like, okay, I'm starting to see what this guy really was trying to do, and maybe he didn't mean any harm by that. It's just that because people culturally wasn't exposed to that type of you know reality. It was just the wrong theater for the show to play in. That's all I got.
Mm. Well, real quick, let me read the notes. I'm sorry. Marcia meets Fabrice and he tells her that he can't focus because of her breasts, pretty much. She tells him that you can't do that. He says, well, you wore it for a reason, didn't you? And Marcia tells Fabrice that the ladies have some concerns. He mentioned sex a lot. They didn't know if it was the right reasons, and that he was pretty much surface level and they wanted to know more. Fabrice responds and says that sex is important in a relationship, and if they don't believe that, then they're pretty much lying to themselves. And he also says that it's a lack of maturity on their end. So
let me chime in and add to that.
okay.
And I'll say this: it's just there's two things. Number one, I'm agreeing with Fabrice on this. He's right that you're lacking that sort of maturity when we feel like, okay, we're adults right now. We should be able to have this type of conversation with each other and it not be something that is coming off as taboo. That's I understand that state of mind that he's in. However, you can't just initiate the beginning, the middle, and the end of a conversation where it's just sex, 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 sex. But he's also right about it is important to everybody, because there's people that, if that sex game ain't on point, first time, maybe they won't check out. Second time, maybe they like, I don't know about this. Third time, if it's whack, they're like, yo, I'm not trying to be with this for the rest of my life. I'm kidding myself. And then they check out. But if it's the bomb.com from the door, right, then they build on top of that. Oh my goodness, he rocked my world, or she threw that thing back or whatever, and they say, oh, whatever. And they try to build onto that. So there is a level of importance to that I can totally understand. And if you're adult enough to realize who you are as a person, then yeah, you should be able to take sort of that perspective and, look at it in that sort of evolution. But I just think that the delivery of the information was,
I think it was too fast. It was just too fast. Like
Yeah.
you in the very beginning, and like that's why they say he has no substance, right? Like you
Right.
can't eat with that. You're supposed to be like the whole point of the process. They always say, like get rid of the lust and do things that you're not doing before. And he coming right into the process doing what everybody do on the street. So that defeats the whole purpose, right? So he should be getting to know each and every person on a deeper level before you get to the point where you start talking about that. So that his timing is just totally off. That's why everybody upset.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
Time is everything, man.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on that. I feel like, ultimately, like when he came in, I wasn't feeling Fabrice. I'm like, yo, man, why is he here? Get him out of here. But unfortunately, as he's leaving out the door, I kind of understood for a moment. Now, I don't agree with that's how you're supposed to conduct yourself, but I understood his mindset behind that. And it made me it brought me into his world a little bit when he was starting to state his case. Would I ever do that? Absolutely not.
Right.
Would I advise somebody to do that? Absolutely not. But for him, what he was saying, it brought me to his world to where I could see why he was kind of carrying on in that way.
Bro, I feel like you just gonna go out of your way to defend the hard argument every time. Like, it's no way. You just said I would not do it. I wouldn't advise anybody to do it, but there's no way you understand it. Then if you
I understand So what I'm saying is I understood the type of person that he was, and so based off of who he is in terms of person, right, and his personality, his persona, where he's been, what he's used to, I understood why he would say something like that.
Okay.
I wouldn't understand that if it was somebody that, you know, was kind of like one of my homies, you know, somebody that I grew up with, that, you know, I understand their background. I'd be like, yo, why are you coming at this? Why are you saying this type of stuff? Like, you look like a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, him being in France and all this other stuff, where in Europe, you know, people walk around naked out there. So it's like no big deal. And so in that culture, yeah, I guess that would be kind of, I won't say acceptable, but, you know, is be usual, you know. But you come here to some places where we're very conservative, you know, we are very concerned about our rights, we're concerned about our space, and we put you know, reservations on the types of conversations that we're willing to have with each other. I can understand how that could be off-putting to people listening to that. So I'm not saying I don't agree that you have that. I just understood, you know, his headspace and where he was coming from. But no, absolutely not. Do I agree with that?
Okay.
Yeah.
I got it. Because, you know, the process is a microcosm. You know, it's not even.
I know.
It's not even real life.
So, I know.
So you come into this to do everything you wouldn't do.
Right.
Right. That's the whole point. That's the whole purpose, to do what you would not do before.
Yeah. Right? But that's one of the things. Yeah, that's one of the things he probably should not have done.
So I put all of Fabrice's clips together into one journey. You can find that on my YouTube channel. And I just want to say that aside from that moment where he got up and stood in front of everyone and didn't say a word, the date was probably like his best look. Everything after him being corrected by Marcia about the breasts wasn't really bad. You know what I mean? Because I was listening to the audio and it was just essentially him explaining himself and basically saying, you know, for the women to say that sex isn't important sounds kind of hypocritical. And that's kind of all we're hearing. But we're still relating it to his entire journey, where that date could have been cut up into a bunch of different pieces. Right. But like I said, everything after him, you know, talking about the breasts is bad. But still, to be this old, to be this mature, and you don't understand how, you know, the dating goes and what is going to be disrespectful to most women, like, you can't get around that. You know what I mean? And especially the way Tommy feels about the women being disrespected on the show, the way Oprah actually addressed Will and saying, we is not going to let people look a certain way, you know, on my network. I understand why he had to go. You know? So, yeah.
Wait, Oprah addressed Will about that? I missed this.
They literally just had an interview where they were just talking about it.
They did.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Shannon Sharp, right?
What was that on?
Yeah.
What happened? Come again? Come on.
Will Packer was on Shannon Sharp's show, basically explaining how he pitched the idea of Ready to Love to Oprah. And Oprah was basically saying, you know, my name's on it. I expect a certain level, and don't be making, you know, Black people look bad.
Oh, when you mean when the show first came out?
See, I'm just talking about the interview.
When was
when
that?
the show first came out, right?
I mean, when was the interview?
The interview with Will was what, a couple days ago?
Oh.
I'm gonna have to go.
I mean,
I'm gonna
that's
have
the
to go
reason why I
and do
got on the
recon.
show, because they told me like Will Pack and Oprah, they wasn't gonna do the negativity or the name calling or anything like that.
We all thought that.
I did it because it was on the network myself.
But y'all know, OWN is not owned by Oprah Winfrey anymore.
Nope.
It's Discovery.
Yep.
All I'm doing is talking
Yeah,
about
she
the energy.
sold it. That's why when people,
Yeah.
when I be hearing
So
people,
it don't matter no more.
let me tell y'all something real quick. When y'all be hearing people talk about, yeah, Oprah Winfrey said, we heard that she wanted us to be on the show from herself, and Oprah Winfrey don't own network no more, guys. That is a long time ago. Oprah, like when I be doing the interviews, I be like, did y'all meet Oprah? Like, I know you didn't meet Oprah.
True.
She don't own it no more.
But they do say that they don't have the affiliation with it.
She's still part of it.
Right.
It's her
Yeah,
net.
she has a percentage and she works as
She's a minority.
she's the executive.
But
She's
that's
one
why
of the
y'all
executives
notice
behind
things
the
are a
scenes.
little bit different. Like it's turning into love and hip hop just a little bit because
Oh yeah.
I mean she got a little bit of stock in it, but it ain't her network no more. She sold it. So whoever she sold it to can make it whatever they want to make it to at the end of the day.
It's totally different. Like Sharice's show was wild. It's a total different show.
Whatever.
She's definitely not selecting the cash. Just like when y'all be like, Tommy, why you bring these people in? Tommy don't have nothing to do with it
At all.
You know, it's
Tommy was really excited and surprised about Rashid and what's the name's engagement. I'm like, okay, I don't even know if Tommy cares that much.
No, Tommy
Well,
got a
you know
job.
what,
Tommy gets
No, but you know what? But I'll say this. Tommy actually does have a relationship with Rashid.
That makes
Oh,
sense.
yeah, they're close. They are close.
So I think they probably
they're frat brothers.
Yeah,
they're definitely close.
Yeah, if you're a frat brother, but if you don't know him from
and you also got
Rashid sold him a ghost.
You also got to think from Tommy's perspective. This is what season 7, and he finally gets to see something like that. And apparently, he had no idea that was going to happen. So they wanted to get his true reaction from seeing that.
Yeah, they didn't tell him.
True.
Oh,
yeah, they didn't tell him.
Yeah,
and it validates the show. Lets us know
he has
kind of real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we are hitting that 3-hour mark and we are going to wrap it up. I want to give a special shout out to you guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you for joining me tonight. A special shout out to the chat. Without you guys, there is no us. We hit over 200 views watching tonight. Thank you so much.
Chat is lit.
If you have not hit that thumbs up, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, I would so greatly appreciate it if you would join our Seoul Mate community. Now, you guys know in the very beginning and in the end, I like to go around the panelists and have them introduce themselves and where they can find it. Also, to let you guys know, I know a lot of you were asking about Tyrone and his channel. He did mention that he has Fabrice's exit. He did do like a compilation video of everything. I put that link in the chat. So definitely find that out. Or you can go to his channel and you can check out Fabrice's exit. But we are going to start with Tyrone. We're going to go around the room and have everybody introduce themselves. Or how do you say, extroduce yourself? And let everybody know where they can find you.
What's up, everybody? Tyrone E. Wilson. No, I'm just practicing again. Yeah, I told y'all that I was gonna get into video editing and my attempt to learn some different skills and stuff. It's been really, really fun. I did also mention in one of the previous panels that I nerd out a bit and I got into a program called Chat GPT. You know, I highly, highly recommend that for everybody. I literally create a YouTube channel with no work. Everything was done with AI, videos, text, everything. It could really change your life if you really want to get into it. But yeah, like I want to try to be a little bit more, you know, out there on social media. I guess I'm officially a content creator now, so I could be like Sabrina. But yeah, I enjoy it. You know, I enjoy it. Just the back and forth. Paul, J Dub. You know, it's always fun. It's always love. It's always good to be on a panel with Sabrina and Sharice, and whenever you know, Randall can grace us with his presence, that's always fun too, to get the king on. So I'm happy. I'm good.
It's J Dub.
All right. YouTube world, it's J Dub. You can find me on YouTube at It's J Dub. I do reviews for reality shows with detailed reviews, and I pick out some details you may have not seen. So I just remember I am YouTube's #1 commenter. So on my channel, it's all about the comments. And I thank everybody tonight for joining the panel.
And Sharice.
Thank you. I am Sharice. You can find me at Logan at loganskincare.com. Yeah, it's been fun hanging out with you guys. I enjoy it. I love your comments. Follow us all. Support us all.
Yes. PO.
More to come.
100.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's PO, aka 100 Sightings on Instagram. It is right there. 100 Sightings on Instagram. It's nice to be on this panel, to rock with all of you guys and the folks that check in and the folks that rewatch this stuff faithfully. It is definitely great to do. And, you know, I'm always here to put a little bit of salt on the things that's sweet. You know, we gotta have the duality, you know, so that's what I hear. That's what I'm here for. I check in for it. And I enjoy doing this. So I hope you guys enjoy, you know, me being on this panel as well.
And Randall.
Okay, Randall Scott. Y'all can find me at King Randall 31 on Instagram. I'm just happy to be on this side. Also happy enough that Sabrina had me on the show. I love arguing with Paul, and Tyrone did hit me with anything crazy today, so I'm happy about that. So I just want to appreciate all of y'all for having me on. Okay.
All right, guys. And before we go, you guys know that today is Tyrone's birthday.
It was yesterday.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
it was yesterday.
Crazy.
So let's
Happy
sing
belated.
Tyrone happy
Thank
birthday. And please give him a shout out in the comment section and let him know.
Yes, sir.
1, 2. Are we singing the happy birthday? Which version?
Yeah.
Well, let me say something before we do that. Let me just say this, brother. I'm happy for you because a lot of people don't get to do what you just did, right? You know, this whole world, you know, there was folks that were not present on the day that you made it. So enjoy life every day at a time, man. Like, you know, congratulations for making it this far.
Yes.
Thank you.
No doubt.
Absolutely. All
Same
right.
to you, and I'm proud of you, and I will definitely be calling you so you can help me.
For
But
sure.
whatever the thing is you're talking about.
Yes. Happy
For
birthday.
sure.
Oh, you're so amazing. You are. All right. 1, 2, 3. Happy
birthday.
birthday
To you.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Happy
birthday.
Happy birthday. Y'all are.
Yeah. I mean, it's only 11 o'clock.
Yeah, we've been over 3 hours. Yeah, I got it.
Anyway, we love you guys. We'll